Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News, and welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie. So, I have videos about joints for jabs in Seattle. We'll talk about that. I have video about, and I really want to talk about this giveaway, I don't remember ever, I can remember like on election day when you go to vote, you get a sticker that says I vote, and then you go in the Krispy Kreme and they give you a donut for free, right? Or you go to, I don't know where, Starbucks, and you get a free drip coffee or something. But I don't remember ever before, oh, $1 million giveaway, 10 chances to win, blah, 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 $250,000, $1 million, $5 million, joints for vaccines, what is it, joints for jabs. I don't remember anything like this overwhelming community, oh, we all have to get in on this. It, 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 it seems desperate. It seems like, oh, we got to figure this out. And if this is such a beneficial thing for people, why do they got to bribe them so much to get it done? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So I'm a little bit bothered by that. And now the cannabis industry is getting involved, and if you have your proof of vaccine, you can go to numerous bars around the city and you can get a cocktail or a beer. To get a joint from one of the retail cannabis shops in the greater Seattle area, I think it's Washington State actually, in order to get a joint, you have to get the vaccine inside the cannabis shop. Okay? When you go to get your beer, you don't have to get your vaccine inside the bar. When you go to get your free Krispy Kreme, you don't have to get your vaccine in the donut shop. But if you're going to get your free joint, you got to get your jab right there in the dispensary, so they call it. And I find that really not right. Also, on tonight's show, I have a new piece of glass. Isn't that pretty? $20. I paid $20 for that. And I will be doing an unboxing video for you later in the day. But right now, we should have a big old dab. Look at this thing. Isn't it pretty? Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. How long you think it'll last that way? $20. That includes the banger, okay? Usually this piece right here, this is called the quartz banger, and it's very hot. I've been heating it up. That piece right there is $20. If you go to a glass shop around town, you will pay $20 for that piece. I got the whole thing, banger, pipe, $20. And I really like it. I haven't taken a hit off of it, but so far I really like it. So I will take a puff off of it in a minute. I've been heating up the bowl because usually I heat them up pretty hot. So I've been heating up the bowl in order to make sure that there's no factory residues on it or anything like that. I wanted to, it's a good idea. If you get a banger like this, you want to hit it with the torch a couple times before you take a puff, because that high heat will get rid of most residues. And it's probably not likely that there's anything on it, but it's a good way to make sure. So I also have a video about cancer chemicals that cause cancer are being found in sunscreen, especially sunscreens designed for children. And on top of that, they're killing the coral reefs and all kinds of other sea life. So get a fucking hat, all right? That's all I'm saying. Get a hat, get some long sleeves. When I go to the beach, I wear long sleeves. I wear shorts, but I don't put on any scum screen. I just walk around, play with the dog, but I do wear long sleeves. Like I said, I don't do well in the direct heat, direct sun, but so I know to cover up. But the sunscreen, I don't think it's becoming, over the last few years, it's become very clear that sunscreen is not healthy. Makeup is not healthy. They're finding heavy metals and chemicals in all kinds of makeup. You know, so, and sunscreen, again, your skin is meant to breathe. It's porous. You put something on it like let's say hand lotion, right? You put hand lotion on and it soaks into your hands. Okay? You know, you put on makeup and it soaks into your face. And it has all kinds of chemicals in it. You put on sunscreen and it soaks into all of you and has cancer-causing chemicals in it. That's not right. You know what? I'm going to play the video about cancer-causing chemicals found in sunscreen while I heat this beautiful baby up, and we'll take my first puff of the day off this beautiful, beautiful bong, and we'll go from there. So, cancer-causing chemicals found in sunscreens, especially sunscreens designed for children. I thought this is an important video. I'll probably post it later after we do the live show. So check it out. And I'll heat up the bong and we'll take a nice puff after this, okay?
Our state's first tour for HealthLink. Before you head out in the sun this summer, check the label on your sunscreen. A new report from a Connecticut lab company finding dozens of sunscreens contain the cancer-causing chemical benzene. Now, there might not be a problem if it's a tiny, tiny amount, but researchers are asking the FDA to recall 40 sunscreen and after-sun products made by Neutrogena, Sunbum, CVS Health, and Fruit of the Earth. They range from lotions to sprays to aloe and gel. The study says Neutrogena products in particular had some of the highest levels of benzene.
All right, my gas is coming out of this tank so weird. It'd be just coming out slow and then be like it's fucking a fire hose. I don't know what's up with that. All right, so I have not done this one yet. This is going to be my first puff off this beautiful, beautiful new piece of glass. I've had this thing for almost a year. I think I ordered it in September. Because like I said, it's a really good buy. $20. I wasn't very happy with the other one that I've been smoking out of for quite some time. It works well. It just, I feel like it's not really what I'm looking for, you know. This, on the other hand, looks pretty much exactly what I'm looking for $20. I'm very happy about this. All right, you ready? First bong hit off this new piece of glass. Still a little hot. I'm used to, the other one has a lip right here, so I kind of put my hand on it, and that feels right. And now it doesn't have a friend, I burned my hand because I don't have the lip to set my hand on. You ready? First puff off the new bong. Follow me and do exactly as you see. That's nice. I like that. That will do just fine. Okay, so we got the chemicals in sunscreen. Woo! Hello, caller.
Hey, Mark.
What's up, G?
Hey, long time no hear from you. What's going on with you?
Hey, we were waiting for you yesterday. I played a video just for you yesterday. And you didn't show up. What?
What was the video?
It was about the election in Mexico.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Okay, let me explain what happened, boss, because I don't know if I have it or not, but
Okay, let me ask you. Let me ask you a question. Did you see any news about the election? Because I heard
Oh yeah.
that a decapitated head was rolled into one of the election places where you go to vote. You know, when the voting polls or whatever. A decapitated head
Yeah.
was rolled into there while they were voting. Did you hear that?
Yeah. That actually happened in Tijuana. Hold on. I actually texted a local, an acquaintance who is a journalist in Mexicali, and I asked him like, okay, if they did that, they usually send like a message or something like
Yeah.
like a big piece of message on a piece of, you know what I mean, right? They actually a message.
Yeah. A
Um,
decapitated head sends a pretty big message.
no, I'm talking about an actual message, like an actual piece of paper with a message
Yeah.
attached to the
You
head.
you cram it in the decapitated head's mouth, and then they
Yeah.
like, oh shit. So what? What about it?
So basically, I mean, those messages were to the actual ruling party. Apparently, there were some people in the party that they sold out, and those people they're supposed to be corrupt within that party, and that's why they let the heads to send a message to that party to not mess with their businesses, though. But yeah, man, that's what happened. And then in Mexicali, there were like at least 2 or 3 places where like people you start vandalizing and erasing ballots from the location and just walking away from with the actual ballot, the
Wow.
empty ballot.
Were they
So
like
people don't
heavily armed people or?
no. Actually, these were people were like people from rehab centers.
Huh. Well.
Yeah, like actual drug addicts from rehab centers. They give it like here's $25 to go out and steal some ballots from the actual polling places. And they actually went there and they actually do it though because I mean they're drug addicts. They'll do whatever they need to do for money. So they actually went there and started stealing ballots from and burning like polling places in certain areas of Mexicali though, which is kind of scary actually.
Well, yeah, it's very scary.
They don't care about democracy. They just want their guy to win, basically, because whoever controls the government controls a lot of things, and they can make a lot of money. Though it's a big business to be a politician in Mexico, Max.
Big what now?
It's a big business to be a politician in Mexico.
Huh? You make a lot of money off the drug cartels or what?
Not necessarily, though. Sometimes people make money because they're like an exclusive supplier with no bidding contract, or because
Right. They have all the inside information.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of people, for example, we have a former governor who was the owner of a Ford dealer in Baja, and he used to be the exclusive supplier of like Ford cars for the municipal and the state government for everything, for like bureaucracy, for cops, for basically all the cars from the state were Ford cars because the former governor was the owner of a Ford dealer in Baja.
Huh?
We have people, and we have examples of like usually businessmen to do that to keep, to keep that monopoly and that start supplying
Yeah.
the state government,
Yeah.
and they overcharge the state government on purpose of like, if you can buy something, let's say for $1, they charge you $5 for that same item because you're the exclusive dealer for the government, like the exclusive supplier, basically.
Yeah.
That's where they make their money, basically. And it's extremely dirty. There's a lot of corruption going on, but a lot of people make a living out of that.
Corruption. Yeah. Corruption is a pretty good living, from what I hear.
Yeah, thank God I don't live in Baja, dude. When I was studying finance, they're talking about the laws and stuff. Just because of the fact that I'm a U.S. citizen, I cannot participate in any type of corruption of the federal government will come after me right away. Any U.S. citizen cannot participate in those kind of things. And there have been occasions where like dual citizenship in Mexico have been cut on that. And it's not the Mexican government that goes after them, it's the U.S. government that goes after them because you're participating in a corruption scheme, which is illegal for any U.S. citizen. There's a specific law.
Did you get a vaccine yet?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Well, that's too bad. You could have got a joint.
I think it's called the Foreign Corruption Practice Act. Basically, any U.S. citizen or U.S. person cannot commit any type of corruption, or they're going to be handed over by the Justice Department, or like, but I think the feds are going after you though.
Yeah.
So, in theory, and this is some theory though, if you're a U.S. citizen and you give a bribe to a police in Mexico, the feds can come after you.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's the way it is in a lot of places.
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of scary though. Like, I cannot, just because it's a fact that
You think everything
I cannot go
is,
to Mexico.
Manny, you think everything is scary.
That's true. I mean, that kind of sucks though, because if I wanted to do that the type of corruption though, I can no longer do it though, because the feds can come after me though in Mexico. Even if I'm a Mexican citizen and a U.S. citizen, the U.S. federal government can come after me because I did corruption things in Mexico.
Are you
That's how.
are you planning on going back there to visit anytime soon?
I don't know, man. We'll see how things go over there with this pandemic. Plus, I'm busy with work.
Yeah.
Things are picking up finally.
Yeah. Good.
At work. So I mean, I don't know, Max. We'll see how things go.
Yeah. When was the last time you were there?
5 years ago?
5 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a lot of family there. Is your mom there?
Not really though. Like my parents are like all my immediate family are they're here in the state of Washington.
Oh, cool.
So basically, we just go there for now. This point is just for vacation, not even for business.
Right
I
on.
don't even have any business over there anymore.
So you go to where do you go for vacation?
I just go to my hometown,
Oh.
Mexicali.
Huh. I thought you wanted to get away from there. That's why you moved to America.
Look, I came to America because I got the opportunity to come here. They offered me the opportunity, and I took the opportunity.
Uh-huh.
I struggled much because it's not easy to immigrate with and no idea how the system works. So I have to learn how the system works first. But yeah, I mean, I got the opportunity and I came here, and
Yeah, good, man. That's great. It sounds like it's
well.
working out well for you.
so far, yes.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
go ahead.
yeah, I mean, things are completely different on how things are done here compared to there, though. But relatively speaking, I'm doing fine.
Good. Glad to hear it. So you got anything else going on? What's going on? Did you ever get to the weed store to get yourself a little something something?
I don't smoke weed, huh?
Just last week you said I wish I could smoke some, and there's nothing keeping you from doing it. So I don't understand you, Manny.
I know. I sometimes I don't even understand myself much. I'm like a teenager.
I believe that. That's one thing I believe that you said.
I'm like a teenage kid. Sometimes I want this, sometimes I want that. Sometimes I feel like, oh, this is boring. And next time I say, you know what, that boring thing now it looks fun.
It's good it's good to want. It makes you leave the house.
Yeah, definitely much. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I'm healthy. I don't have the
The plague.
COVID. I got vaccine back in March,
Good.
like early mid-March. So, yeah, everything's good so far for me, though. Good for me.
Yeah, good. I hope that you're doing good, Manny. I hope that you have good people around you and you're eating good food and all those things, man.
Oh, yeah. I'm eating good food. Homemade food. That's the one that is the best.
You barbecue?
We don't do barbecue. We do carne asada.
But that's not barbecue. How do you make it?
Well, barbecue is like actual barbecue meat, and you put like a pork, and you put like barbecue sauce on top. We don't do that. We do a lot of like carne asada.
Yeah, well, last time I had the carne asada, it was this big piece of meat, and they cut off thin strips of it and throw it on the barbecue, and then some green onions and guacamole and tortillas and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. So,
Anyway, just want to say hi, Max.
hello.
I just want to say hi, Max.
Oh, okay. Do you have a dog? I heard your dog barking in the background the other day.
It's a background noise basically.
It's what?
Background noise.
There was a dog there, Manny. I heard it.
I don't remember, Mark. But anyways, have a good day, Mark.
Okay, Manny, good to hear from you. Sounds like I have a little too much information for Manny to be comfortable. I tend to be that way. I'm nothing. You should see Craig. He's got all the dirt on all you guys. He's a very snoopy guy. You call here, he's going to find out who the fuck you are. Because that's just how he is. Okay, so I have a video here about protest here in the Seattle area to end the mask regulations, requirements in schools. They want the mask to go away in schools. They don't want their children running around with their face covered all day long. I found that very interesting, and I'm waiting for those protests to take place, not just for schools, for everyone, everywhere. Enough already, right? Okay, I'm going to play this for you, and I'll be right back.
A group of local parents rallying to end mask wearing in schools.
T13 photojournalist Michael Driver was there.
I think everyone's out here for their own reasons, but we definitely have a message.
No more masks!
That it is up to the parents' choice. If the parents decide what's best for their kids and their kids' health.
Woo!
If they want a mask, great. If not, we get that choice.
No more masks!
So that's our message today.
They hate being at school with the masks, and I feel like they need to get them off. We're all starting to take our masks off, but we want our children to still have masks, and I just don't agree with that.
I personally don't like masks in school, and I personally don't think they actually do much. I think that we don't need them. I think we'll be okay.
There's teachers out here, there's parents, there's grandparents. There's a lot of people that feel this way.
They are done being quiet, and they're ready to speak up for them and their children and their rights and their medical freedom.
If you believe in something so strongly, you don't be quiet about it. You have to fight for it.
And all these parents, I think, it proves to the rest of Washington that we're all ready. There's no more emergency. We're ready to not be afraid anymore. We're ready to get back to being a community again.
If somebody wants to wear a mask, let them. But we also want the choice to not have a mask on and not have our kids wear a mask.
No more masks!
That's all we're asking.
Well, those parents and students were rallying on behalf of the Sumner Bonnie Lake School District. They're hoping that rally will help school district leaders consider their proposal. Moving on now, state officials say joints for jabs is totally legal. Licensed marijuana stores can now offer free joints to promote on-site COVID-19 vaccine clinics. Retail shops can give away a single pre-rolled joint to anyone over 21 who gets a shot there before July 12th. Breweries, wineries, and restaurants are already allowed to offer free drinks in exchange for proof of vaccination.
So, the things that bother me about this the most, about the joints for jabs thing, again, this bribing people to do something that's good for the nation and good for them and gonna protect them against this evil, evil thing, doesn't seem right to me. You shouldn't have to bribe people to do the right thing, Again, I don't think that, I've seen people, the Krispy Kremes, you come in with your little I voted sticker on and they'll give you a free donut. Some places you go to the bar, they'll give you a free beer. Other places give you free stuff for voting too. But it's not like this, right? Like this is, win $1 million. Get your vaccine now and win $1 million. I wonder if that actually works on people. And you know what? They're leaving people out of that, right? Craig got his vaccine here in Washington State, and he doesn't get to participate in the win $1 million because he got his at the VA. And that doesn't count. For the state lottery, you have to get it done by state people instead of federal people. And that's some bullshit, man. So I hope that, and this thing with the joints for jabs, I want to go down to my dispensary and go, look, this isn't fair. You know, I have a medical excuse for not being vaccinated. I have my medical marijuana card right here. Obviously, I have medicinal issues, and I don't think it's fair that you're giving people joints and not me, because I was sick before them. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what it is that I am saying? I really like this bong. All right, so this is a call-in show, people, and I would love to talk to you. Jackie Cat, did you order any glass off of the website that I told you about yet? Did you order any glass? I got this one, and it's really nice. I'll send you a link. I'm trying to decide if I need to put more water in it or not. I think it might need a little more water. Let's try, see what happens. I am just going to take bong hits and play videos until we have a phone caller. You know that's what I'm going to do, right? Oh, do you see that action on there? Right? Can you see that? Watch this. There's like a little, they call this a tornado vortex, right? Watch. The water spins like a tornado. It's so cool. I love my new bong. My name is Tommy, and I became aware this year. Oh, it's a good one. I really like this one, Jackie Cat. I think this may be my favorite. And I was bothered because I got one a couple of years ago, 3 years ago or something. Like I said, I've been ordering off this site for years. I got one about 3 years ago. I got two of them because I really liked it so much. And then when I went to get another one, I couldn't find it anywhere. And I didn't think I was ever going to find one that I liked as much as that one. This one I like as much as that one. This is nice. I'm going to have to go. I'm going to have to do another bong hit. It's no fun with nothing in there. I'm going to have to go. I went to make my unboxing video, and I did it, and I couldn't find the little banger, right? So I was like, I found like a weed bowl that you put in here that fits in here, and I was like, that's not what I ordered. I was like, I can't use my thing now. I'm so upset. And then I was stuffing all the bubble wrap back into the box, and I found this right before the show. I was like, fuck yeah. So you guys are getting to see the first bong hit out of it as opposed to the unboxing video, which I will post in the next day or two. So, you can see the telephone number on the screen, I believe, can't you? Because it's a call-in show, and I really like talking with you people. I'm sorry, I don't mean to. Who you calling, you people? That's generally my response when someone says that. So, I apologize. You're not you people. It's a good bong. Let's see. Who are you again? You should order something, Jackie Cat. You'll like it. I just opened that. I ordered that months ago. I ordered it in September, I think. So, but I can't stop looking at it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna play another video, and it's nice thick glass. You know, I was a little bit worried about this because generally I don't like water that goes into this part right here, because it makes this part of the bowl, if you set it down too hard with the water in it, you know, but I don't. This is very thick. I had one do that one time where it got smacked on the bottom and it broke. But this, I don't think I'm going to have to worry about that with this one. I'm so lucky right now. Oh my God. Somebody buy me a lottery ticket. Go to the moon. as soon as Donald Trump and Elon Musk shut their fucking mouths, their frickin' pie holes. Donald Trump, I bet he eats a lot of pie. Not hair pie, but, you know, the other kind with like strawberries or whatever. What kind of pie you think Donald? Oh, I bet you he likes a banana cream pie. That would be my guess. He looks like a banana cream pie kind of guy. I don't care for cream pie so much. I do like apple pie. I like rhubarb. Have you ever had that? Strawberry rhubarb? I had it one time and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking amazing. It's all tangy. It was great. But I grew up eating apple pies. My mom used to make apple pies from time to time, and that's what I really like. So, like apple pies, apple fritters. I had some apple donuts back at Christmas, and I cannot find them. Since then, I can't find them anywhere, and I'm like, fuck, those were good. But I digress. So what do you all think about this thing where you have to bribe people to do the right thing? I mean, you know, when they do the giveaway, when it says I vote, you put the little I voted sticker on, and you can go and get the Krispy Kreme. They're not enticing you to do something, right? They're not saying, come and we'll give you this thing if you come and vote. They're saying, good job. Here's a little something for you. But this is, you know, come. I mean, it's like you win $1 million, right? Nobody says win $1 million. Vote in this state. If you vote in this state, you could win $1 million. I bet you that would get a lot more people to vote. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? I mean, if they're doing it for vaccines, why not do it for voting? Do they not want more people voting? I mean, I'm confused. Why wouldn't they do that? Something weird is going on. That's all I'm saying. And I'd love to discuss it with you. But if not, that's okay. Love is love. That's so true. That's so true. Love is love. Oh, well, that's why you need a flower press, Jackie Cat. If you can't get dabs at the co-op, you can get flowers, right? I will show you. And plus, they have a lot of glass on that page that is, you know, it's not about dabs. Like I said, I got a flower bowl with this pipe, and I was like, oh no, because that's all I could find at the moment when I opened it. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, how's it going?
Okay, how about you?
Not bad. I think it's totally bizarre they're offering people weed to get a shot. And it's one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard. I mean, it's funny, but that doesn't make it less bizarre. You know, they were throwing us in jail for this shit last week.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's like, oh, look, you can have some candy. It reminds me of the guys on the corner trying to steal children. You know, here's some candy. You know, I don't know. It's just it is this. I'm not a marketing genius or anything like that. I've never, you know, a little bit of sales, but I just think there's a million different ways you could do something that, you know, where you're not giving away $1 million or, you know, weed. They're obviously targeting certain people, is my opinion.
That's what I was thinking too. I was thinking the stoners are like going, yeah, I'm not interested. And then they're going, oh, well, we'll give you free weed. You know?
Right. Well, it's actually it's an uneducated thought, because actually you're still only targeting like a very small select group of stoners, right? You're not actually pursuing educated people. It's like they're not going to go get a shot because you offer them a joint. They don't need a joint from you. That's not, you know.
Well, yeah, they should. That's what I was thinking. I mean, who's going to do that? They should be offering an ounce of weed. You come in and get the shot, we'll give you an ounce of weed. They would have people lined up outside their door. but they don't know what the
How
fuck
about-
they're doing.
How about a year's free property taxes?
I think that this is just not very. These people are not very smart. You know, I think that there's a lot of I think that there's a lot of way that you can really entice people, if that's what you really want. But a $5 joint, if it costs that much, you know, I mean, give me a break. How is that going to make the difference in you deciding whether or not you're going to be vaccinated? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you can get a very small portion. You know, a very small portion. So it's a big message for a very small portion of people. Yeah, I mean, how about really working on the problem that exists that would eliminate a lot of problems, which is trust. Reestablish some trust, you know, show us some honesty. And I don't know. I think that's part of what the UFO thing is all about, is like they're trying to establish, you know, trust. You're like, oh, look, they revealed the UFO files. They must really, you know, be honest. You know, they're being honest. You know, like, no, they're not. I just, yeah,
No,
they could establish.
Yeah.
They could reestablish trust by being forthright, honest, speak plainly.
I don't think the people in government right now are capable of that. We probably have to get rid of all of them before we'll get anything like that. I don't see this as like the way to go about doing things that are good for you, good for the country. You shouldn't have to be bribed into that, you know? And it's very odd to me that this is what's going on, and that they're so bad at it, you know? Win $1 million. Yeah, what are the odds of that? Yeah, I'm going to go. I don't know what kind of people this would appeal to either. You know, oh, you can have a free beer at the bar. That's nice, but, you know, that's not going to make me change my opinion about Jesus, you know?
Yeah. It almost feels more like a political move than an actual substantive move towards health issues. You know, it feels more political for sure. I mean,
there's something going on, and like you were saying about the people being more on the up and up. You know, what we keep seeing is lies. We keep seeing these people lie blatantly, and it just, why would anyone believe anything that they're saying at this point? You know, so and if you don't believe what they're saying, and you figure pretty much they're not telling you the truth, then you're all fucked. You know, if you've been listening to these people, you're all fucked. And I don't want to think of you in those terms. I want good for everyone. That's what this planet should be. There's plenty here. It was at one time pretty much a perfect paradise, and it still could be, if it wasn't for this wrong thing. You know, we've been misled, misinformed, miseducated, and there's no fucking change in sight whatsoever. It's just going to go on like this forever until there's no air to breathe and no water to fucking drink, and that's not a very good plan.
It's not a good plan at all. I use the analogy, it's a train, not a car. It can't just stop at the red light. It just keeps going, and good luck trying to grab onto it to slow it down, or, you know, but, you know, with the weed for shots thing, it's like, it's a very basic primal understanding between species. If I go into the forest and I'm going to trap animals, I use bait. If I'm going into the forest to commune with animals, then I present myself in an honest manner and just hang out and see who shows up. You know,
well, you might use bait for that though too. It doesn't mean that you're there to, you know, somehow deceive the animals or whatever. You just want them to know, hey, I'm over here.
Oh, feeding the birds and stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Feeding. Yeah. I feed the birds, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you go to the lake and there's a bunch of ducks there, you know. You go, hey, I'm over here, and they all come over there, you know.
Yeah, it's a little different because I'm not offering them anything, you know, or I'm not expecting anything in return. It's like it's a bait, you know. I'm trying to catch them, you know. Whereas if I'm feeding them, I'm not trying to catch them. I'm just hanging out with them, you know.
Yeah, but you're trying to get their attention. It's like I'm saying, you can't go down to the lake and go, hey, duckies, I'm over here, and they won't come to you. But if you go, hey, check this out, they're going, hey, who are you? You know, you're my friend.
Yeah. But yeah, so I finally got to try some California weed, you know, stuff out of the whatever, you know, the dispensaries and places they sell there. Very, 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 very foreign to, I guess, you know, because I'm here. I'm not a connoisseur of weed, but I've pretty much smoked it all my life. But don't always have it. But I thought, well, this will be great opportunity. Guy showed up with a bag of goodies. You know, I'm looking at all the packages. The one thing that struck me right off the bat was just the enormous amount of packaging for a small quantity. I mean, even like these.
That's one of the things that really concerns me about the legalization movement. Is we have to find a more nature-friendly kind of packaging, because what's going to happen is there's going to be weed pollution everywhere, and they're going to show, oh, look how bad this is for the environment, you know?
Yeah. It definitely had a stench of, you know, excessive marketing to it. I was kind of turned off by that right off the bat, but I kept an open mind. There's the hard plastic like CDs or the cassette tapes, you know, type packages, and they only have like 2 joints in them.
I wouldn't buy pre-rolled joints if you have a better choice than that.
No, I didn't buy any of it. This guy, you know, a person I know came from California, brought a bunch of stuff. I said, man, you know, come on, bring some. I've never looked at videos, so this was my first taste of commercialized legal weed. I literally have not watched any videos. I don't know about it. I haven't looked at it at all.
Did you find something you enjoyed, or?
Nah, I mean, it was okay. It felt good to be able to, you know, do it legally. I mean, I was like, it looked good, it smelled good, but the buzz, no, I wasn't really impressed. It was, I enjoyed it. The one thing that stuck out to me with this, you know, he gave me a jar of stuff, like a little, you know, small jar that it came in.
Yeah.
He just gave that to me. I don't know if it's like an eighth or something, but I said, oh, you know, thanks. That's really cool. And so I just smoked that. He had a couple other joints that he thought was special that he wanted to smoke. He said, you know, I really want to smoke this with you. I said, okay, cool. You know, and I didn't really notice any difference between it. Like I think I tried like 3 or 4 different labels, whatever. It all kind of smelled the same, looked the same, felt the same. I didn't notice any noticeable difference. But again, I'm not a connoisseur, so. But I wasn't impressed. I'll say that.
I think a lot of it in the retail shops, a lot of it is very, very similar. You know, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I think every once in a while you'll find something and it'll just be like, holy moly, that is some good stuff. But it takes some digging. And when it used to be the medical. When you go into the medical shops, everything would be in jars, and they'd hand pull it out, and you'd see exactly what you're getting, as opposed to being in these plastic bags and stuff that you can't really see exactly what you're getting. So it was a lot different, and you could smell it and all these things, you know. Now it's sealed up pretty darn good. So. But it's you know, and what bothers me about that is they use the retail, you know, weed for killing the medical marijuana industry in this state, and it was a really good thing. They didn't do that in Colorado. In Colorado, they allowed the medical dispensaries to be the first ones to get retail licenses, and then they could continue to take care of their medical clients in the same way they have for years. But in Washington State, they made all the medical dispensaries shut down for like a year before the the recreational sales went into effect, and that really fucked a lot of people. And they still don't let people grow in this state. So
yeah. I'm waiting for that to break, because I'm actually thinking in the back of my mind. I remember talking to you about this before, and I was like, man, that's really strange that New York is going to let us grow, but they're still holding out in Washington. I mean, it just
7 years later, they're still not letting people grow in this state.
Yeah, there's got to be some kind of deal that they brokered with the politicians at the time to maintain exclusivity of profits, because I just can't imagine any other reason that I think the only reason we're going to be able to grow here in New York is because they actually did what we call old school New York politics. Is you trap the governor in a couple of sex scandals, make them real public, and then get him to sign the bill.
Right.
And you gotta. That's how this whole thing unfolded.
Yeah, I heard
all that stuff went away. Everything kind of went away after he signed the bill.
Yeah,
so
I heard
what you got to do.
I heard Cuomo was the only thing standing in the way of recreational cannabis in New York.
Well,
and I think part of the reason they won't let people grow in this state is that the retail people don't want people growing in this state. So the retail people have a bunch of money all of a sudden, and they're saying, hey, you know what, Mr. Congressman or Representative, I would prefer that you couldn't grow in this state. Who gives a shit what they prefer? There's people want to grow flowers. People want to grow their medicine. People want to know how it's grown. What kind of fertilizers are used on it? They want all these things, and they want to grow it themselves because the plant imprints on you. So it figures out what you need, and then it produces it for you. Okay, so this whole recreational retail shit, it's fine for some people, but most people, it's the prices are a little high, and although you can get eights for $12 in this state, 3.5 grams.
Yeah,
it's like you was saying, there's not a lot of difference between one of those and another one and another one. You're like, I don't really notice any difference. And that's one of the things that I find regularly when you buy these, is that it just tastes like anything else. And sometimes, like you're saying, the buzz is not there. So the whole recreational thing, what I've told people again and again, including in this state, that they were not going to let people grow. So if don't pass this 501, this I-501, I-502 bill, which legalizes recreational cannabis in Washington State, do not vote for that, because they're not legalizing cannabis. If you can't grow your own flowers, cannabis is not legal. So if you have a chance to vote for it in your state, I'm telling you, if they don't allow you to vote, get flowers, grow your own flowers, you need to petition them to change that fucking law, because that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, and what it ended up here was the amount of time between the point of legalization and the legalization of growing, in order to offer a bonus to the growers who had to apply for licenses. And those licenses, just a license application, is $200,000.
Yeah, you were talking about that before.
Yeah, so they keep the money if you get the license.
Yeah.
So if you don't get the license, you get that back. They keep the other license fees that are regardless if you get it or not. They keep that. So.
Well, you should start a couple plants, man.
Oh, Oh, dude, I took it. I looked into your advice about the seeds and stuff, and I'm on a continuing basis. I have a strain here that I always liked, and I just need to get back in touch with some people to get some seeds and do it there, because that stuff was climatized, and I like it.
Yeah.
And it was bred, and it was, carefully done. It's not like we just started smoking weed here. It's just that it's not legal. But
right.
There's a strain here that, I don't know, the locals call it Borg, but I don't know. It has a wider leaf, so that's its distinction, that you can tell the difference if you're looking for plants. And But I'm not a connoisseur, but it is the stuff that I've known has been around for many years. It's very good. I liked it. It was, I can work. I can go to work, and if I'm doing construction or I'm working outside, I'm doing physical labor, I can do that on that very comfortably. It's nice.
I hear what you're saying. I understand.
I like that stuff. I call it working weed, man.
Some of it is very inspiring. I had some the other night, and I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about stuff that I wanted to make happen, and it made me want to get up and do stuff now. Hey, I gotta take a break. It's good to hear from you. Okay, I hope you call back soon.
Okay, Mark. Bye.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna play a video for you here about, about joints for jabs. How about that? Let's see, video number 7. I'll be right back.
New tonight, the cannabis industry has a new role in the fight against coronavirus. State regulators introduced the Joints for Jabs program today, which allows free marijuana for people getting a shot. Gumbo's Joel Marino's live with more on this unusual opportunity. Joel?
Mary, cannabis is a highly regulated industry, and the state never allows pot to be given away for free until now. But to take part, retailers, well, they actually have to host the vaccine clinics inside their shops, which could be a challenge for some. Pot shops like Uncle Ike's in Capitol Hill now have the go-ahead to become the next line of defense to stop the spread of coronavirus.
The LCB agreed today to let us give vaccinations in the shop and then give out a free joint.
The Liquor and Cannabis Board says retailers wanted to help encourage COVID-19 vaccinations, and Joints for Jabs breaks the long-standing rule preventing cannabis stores from giving away marijuana.
This was a big step, but it was at the request of many of these retailers.
The fact that they're allowing us to actually give away cannabis as an incentive or a thank you or something fun, it's an opportunity we probably will never have again.
But one of the conditions is that cannabis shops actually hold the vaccine clinic in the store, as opposed to people just showing proof of vaccination, which is all some bars and restaurants require for a free beer.
If we can find somebody to do it, give the vaccinations, we can carve out space inside. I mean, it's not going to be a lot of room, but it'll be good enough.
The LCB says only a single pre-rolled joint may be given away to anyone who gets a COVID-19 shot inside the cannabis shop. The clinics will be allowed to operate through July 12th.
I think if it's successful, they'll probably extend it. It's just up to us now to figure out how to do it, how to make it happen.
The LCB says pot shops across the state have shown an interest in this vaccine incentive program. However, records must be kept of any marijuana that is handed out. Back to you.
Joel, thank you very much. In just a few hours, the Washington Lottery will draw the first winners in a Shot of a Lifetime program. Someone who received at least one dose of COVID-19 vaccine will be $250,000 richer. It's the first of 4 weekly drawings for $250,000 in other prizes, including plane tickets, sports tickets, and gift cards. On July 13th, the state will draw a $1 million winner.
It's really odd for me heating this up because I'm used to the bowl being up here and now it's way down here, and I'm like, I can't even get the torch to fit under it when it's sitting on the desk. I have to hold it completely different, and I'm nervous about tipping it over because it's brand new and I don't want to lose it. I don't want to have to go back to the other one now. I love this one. So if you'd like to take a dab or a puff with me, now would be a good time to do so, as I will be as soon as this cools down just a little bit, I will be indulging in another fat puff. So I only have one video left. Well, I have a couple videos. I have the bright side video and the white privilege card. But I want to. I've been farming all day, by the way. I've been out in the backyard. I have ton plants now. I'm almost done. I might want to start a couple more, but I'm all out of soil, so I'm not sure what to do. But I would recommend to you to follow me and do exactly as you see. I like the way that bong works. I can tell you that. All right, so what is next here? Well, I guess we're waiting on phone callers. Otherwise, I'm going to play a video. And again, I want at the end of the video, I put that little segment where they were talking about the Washington State Lottery and how you can win $1 million or $250,000. Multiple chances to win $250,000. I wanted you to see that. That's why I left that little bit on at the end, because it's just so weird, right? I keep talking about how this is like a Twilight Zone episode. You know, the Twilight Zone where they're all getting on the spaceships from the people who came down to Earth, and they presented the Earthlings with the book that talked about... Well, they were trying to translate the book, and they helped to cure all this disease and everything, and they're all getting on the spaceships, and this woman comes running out. She says, Professor, the book, its title, To Serve Man. It's a cookbook, right? You know what I'm saying? It's this Twilight Zone episode thing, and so if you knew that it was a cookbook and they offered you $1 million prize, would you get on the ship? And what good is it going to do you if you're, living on another planet, right? As food. We'll make great pets. We'll make great pets. I need, speaking of food, I just need a phone caller. Okay, and the other video that I started with, where they were showing the protest before the Joints for Jabs thing, I added the clip where they're showing the protest of people who don't want their kids to be wearing masks in school. And this is one of the things that has bothered me. I've told you about this, that they're keeping the kids so they have to stand 6 feet apart, and one of the schools that I walk by, I can see the kids are wearing different colored vests. So they have to. You can play with the kids in these colored vests, but you can't play with those kids. And the mask, and it's just like, already I always got the feeling like schools were designed to make people into clogs. A clog for the machine. You fit here, you fit there. But what are they teaching them on top of that with this stuff? It's something that. I've mentioned before. It's a big question that I have. How is this affecting young people? And I have the same question about 9/11, and everyone having internet access, and what does that mean to somebody who was 10 years old on 9/11, or seeing all the truther stuff, and how does that affect the government? What's up, Jay?
Fuck the government.
That's what I say.
What the fuck's the government ever done for me?
I don't know. You said you got all these checks. Didn't they send you a bunch of checks?
Yeah, I guess I'm fucking. You know, I can remember when I was in the union, I kept fucking. Part of my check just kept going to the government and going to the government, and every week it's going to the government and going to the government. So I gave my fair share.
Not me.
Well, yeah, you had a different. I mean, did you ever pay taxes? When's the last time you paid taxes? That's private information. So
when was Reagan president?
80s, 1980.
Mm.
So, anyways, fuck the government, man. I just got home and I turned on my computer and I hear this guy saying, if we can get a caller, you know, or something like that, whatever you were just saying.
Are you people awake?
Is that what you? I didn't catch that part.
You people. Who you calling you people?
377-705. I'm talking to two people at once. 377-705. All right. Yeah, man. I've met some beautiful people today.
Excellent. Lucky. Lucky.
What'd you say?
Lucky. You're lucky.
Yeah, it's a good thing to 0.05. It's a good thing to have really deep conversations and really be able to relate to people on a deep level. You know, to me, that's the best thing about human life is when you know, whether it's a good buddy or a complete stranger or someone you haven't seen in a long time, that's the best thing about life. And then if you add...
well, that's why we do what we do. I mean, that's a big part of why I'm doing this is to try and have conversations. You know, I want other people's voices and opinions to be part of the discussion. I don't want to just sit here and talk to myself, you know?
Yeah, I can dig that, man. You're kind of a message in a bottle type guy, except your bottle is the whole wide world, the internet. It's like, yeah, call me. You know, you don't care who calls, basically, as long as they're not fucking insulting you all the time or speaking untruths. I notice you're like me, and you have a problem with people who speak untruth.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I won't let people get away with saying certain things, and you know, I mean, and that's not a freedom of speech matter. It's a matter of them being rude to people who might be in the chat, you know, or watching the show, because I don't want people talking shit, you know, racist bullshit, you know, that isn't fair, because that's not why people are tuning in. There's lots of places you can go and tune in if that's what you want to see. Mox News is not one of them.
Yeah, I know I've been mean to one of your buddies recently in the chat.
Oh, that's different. I mean, if you guys are playing back and forth, I don't really care. But if you're,
it's all out war now.
You better be careful. Pete's looking for somebody to go off on, man.
Yeah, I already blocked him from my YouTube channel this morning, I think. A whole bunch of comments. I was like, okay, dude, goodbye. So, but no, the thing that pisses me off is when they call the victim the bad guy, or the truth teller, the liar, you know, like Julian Assange. I mean, really, there's not enough discussion about Julian Assange. This guy who...
I haven't heard anything about him lately. Have you heard anything about him lately? You said you're in communication with his mom or something?
No, years ago on Twitter, I was talking to his mom all the time, telling his mom... get him some vitamin D3, get him, because I heard he had a lung infection, and just like this COVID-19, vitamin D3, you know, it'll boost your immune system. And
vitamin THC.
Yeah, but I think they're even, I have experience with, I've been in a couple prisons in California, and...
I bet you have.
As visiting, you know, not as an inmate, not as a resident, but they had to, you get searched and they got a dress code, and then you got to walk through a section. It's like being a Palestinian just to get in to the visiting area, and we had to smoke.
Right. Well, there's a reason that they treat people going into prison to visit a prisoner, a resident, as you call them. There's no reason for Israelis to do what they do to Palestinians.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I really wish Palestinians weren't third or fourth class citizens. That way, we wouldn't have to treat them that way and demonize them.
We don't have to treat them that way. We choose to treat them that way.
Well, somebody does, not us. So there's a big enough.
When I say we, I mean like America. America, fuck yeah.
The pushback on planet Earth against the apartheid Zionist state and all its war crimes and crimes against humanity is big enough to change the system, but unfortunately the system is so big, it's like a bunch of ants trying to move a big boulder. It's like we can nudge it this way and it looks like it's going to move, but then the boulder is too massive. The system is too entrenched. The Zionist control over the United States is too fucking powerful.
Well, I keep saying what we have to do is put them all in prison. And I mean, this is how, and the other thing that I keep saying, right after I say put them all in prison, is that's the only way we're going to get change. It's like you're saying, it's too big, we're never going to get change, unless we throw them all in prison. Then we will get change. And that's what I keep saying, this is the only way that's ever going to happen. So...
Yeah, it takes, this criminal I heard of one time, she wrote a book called Takes a Village to Raise a Child. Well, it takes a fucking planet to kill an empire, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to bring sanity to planet Earth, and it's not a one lifetime event. It's a multi-lifetime, multi-generational task. And we all have to put our shoulders to the wheel and push this giant monolith into the fucking pit of hell and make sure it never comes back. And if we get half of what we want, God damn, I swear to God, I'll fall on my knees and pray to Jesus every day. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Even though it was us that did it. Man, it's so entrenched. And if you look at all of the previously existing systems, some of which are in their death throes, like the Catholic Church or the United Nations, it's a pretty corrupt body, the United Nations, useless. And when these fucking dinosaurs drag their sordid, rancid, leprous bellies across planet Earth, they're barely surviving, but they're still wreaking havoc, and we're the United Nations and we get things done, and then some motherfucker pops up on the World Economic Forum and says, you'll be happy and you'll own nothing. It's like, I want to fucking cut that guy's throat on TV. That guy, whatever his name is, Klaus.
Again, we want them to go to prison forever. This is the only way, because if you do what you said, then that person becomes a victim, okay? So regardless of how much you want to do that, that's not a very smart move, because then he gets praised as a martyr instead of being the fucking evildoer that needs to go to prison.
Well, there's three great martyrs, even though one of them isn't dead yet. One is JFK. I mean, when you have to be dead to be a martyr. That's the definition of the word. The other one would be, I think, is Paul Wellstone. He's the guy that died in a plane crash, right?
Yeah. Stay out of small planes. We used to say that about Ron Paul all the time. Stay out of small planes, buddy.
Saved for Ron Paul?
Yeah, we used to say that about Ron Paul all the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I wasn't so hip to Ron Paul, and I was that's one movement I kind of missed. But the third one is Julian Assange, and he's almost dead. You know, there's other ones. John Lennon, he was trying to change the world. And, you know, that's kind of the nature of the planet we live on, is when you get filled with the Spirit of God and the Spirit of humanity, and you rise up and you fight against evil, they cut you down. And now, and not now, it's always been this way, false prophets rise up and they say, I am filled with the Spirit of God, and they rise up and then they betray you, even to the extent that Bernie Sanders is a betrayer, this little sheepdog guy who says the right words and does all the wrong things when it comes to action. What a pussy. So, this is where we're at, is it takes a planet to kill an empire, and the empire is still dragging its belly. And
it takes fucking Afghanistan to kill an empire, okay? That's their nickname, Killer of Empires.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
And did you see not Assad, Macron get slapped today?
Yeah, Craig said you posted that or something.
Yeah, I was all over. I happened to catch it on the Alawite station, on the Alawite YouTube channel, and you know, what's his name? Assad, the president of Syria. He's an Alawite. That's a weird ass religion. That's a cross between Muslims, Christianity, and Zoroastrianism. It's kind of right in the middle, and they happen to have the ruling party in Syria, and they seem to be quite secular in some ways and quite encompassing, and people just trash Assad a lot, but especially the Young Turks. They trash him. They call him a evil dictator and all that shit, but you know, it's amazing.
Like Erdogan's not a fucking dictator. Give me a break.
Yeah, right. And he's Turkish. You would think, but you know, the Turks can't go after him because he's in Turkey, so we can't do that. And they take like $20 million from certain governmental organizations, so they're basically the biggest left-wing gatekeepers on the planet, the Young Turks, you know.
Well, Assad seems like a real statesman. You know, if he was given the opportunity, I'm sure that he'd love to be part of the world stage. You know, and show. I think that for 1,000 years, that country has been, you know, a safe haven for people that were being persecuted. And it's disgusting that we blew it all up.
Well, you know, they call Jesus the man from Galilee and the Nazarene, but really he was trained by the Essenes in Syria, in Mount Carmel. So, and Damascus is basically the oldest surviving city on earth, so they say. I don't know how to compare that with cities in China and India. I think maybe India's got Syria beat, but there's nothing bad about Syria. There's nothing bad about Assad. They fought off the United States Army, the Kurds, the Turks, ISIS, France, all kinds of fucking villains. And they basically won. You know, they got one testicle left and no left foot, and a broken arm. But they beat all of those odds, and they're going to pull through, unless Israel does something really stupid, which they would. But the empire marches on, and even in South America, they're marching on. And I would love, you know, I don't want to get all wacky-woo and hopeful, but there's so much injustice on planet Earth. We really got to just come together as a planet and keep the internet open and spread accurate information and be smart enough to figure it out. What's the PSYOP? What's the partial PSYOP? You know, what's the COINTELPRO? And it's complex.
It's all the Matrix, man. It's all a psyop.
Well, I don't know about that, man. It's what I experienced today with a beautiful friend and good conversation and good people. That was like heaven to me, man. I was really able to open up and help a little 20-year-old girl, and then the daughter of one of my ex-girlfriends, and see some old buddies and sit around like old times, and everybody's saying the same thing you and I are saying. God, people are going crazy, man. Yeah, but that was like despite all the bullshit I went through today, that was my bright spot. Having a good La Diabla burrito with some good friends and sitting around for just a little bit and getting really deep, really quick, and then I had to jet and do other things, but that was good. Yeah, so there's still goodness on planet Earth. I think that's what I'm trying to say. There's still goodness on planet Earth. And I got some free eggs. Got a dozen free eggs because they got chickens,
Yeah, well, what does fucking goodness and 50 cents get you, man? You tell me.
I don't know. You're going to have to tell me.
Because they ain't going to buy a cup of coffee at Denny's, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Well, okay, well, I'm the supposedly streetwise guy that can take on an army single-handed with no weapons, so you're kind of talking to the wrong guy, man. I'm used to war. I'm fucking used to the viciousness of stuff. I'm the guy who sleeps with a gun. So, fuck,
I've
man.
said many times from the age of 12 I was sleeping with a .357 under my pillow and extra bullets in the fucking nightstand.
Yeah, well, I have a crucifix next to my pillow. don't tell anybody, Mike.
Oh man.
No, it was a gift. It was given to me. It was the Catholics. They have this fancy fucking funeral bullshit, And when my dad died, my sister gave me this crucifix, so I really value it. It's not like but I found it's more comfortable if you have two pillows and you stick your gun underneath the second pillow, because that way you don't feel it underneath your head, But people think I'm wacky because I sleep with a crucifix and a gun. It's like, don't tell the FBI. They'll come and get me. So,
Jesus and Bullets, that sounds like a fucking movie title to me.
Yeah, or a good band.
Yeah.
A Christian band. But, it's all good, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm actually kind of disturbed because
Yes, we all know that.
Yeah, because I smoke too much marijuana and my brain hurts. So I should smoke some marijuana and it'll make me feel better. But yeah.
You should rub some oil on your feet and you'll feel better for the next 2 days.
I'm really gonna. Maybe I'll try to microdose, but I can't hang with edibles too much because I'm too high strung and I got too many things to do every day, and I don't want to get lazy, and I like to be stimulated and not fucking sedated. I want to be.
Oh, is that what happens when you put oil on your feet? You're out of it?
No, when I put oil on my feet, that absorbs into my parasympathetic system, and it has
medicinal qualities.
Much more subtle effects.
And major medicinal qualities. This is what I'm telling you. You should rub some fucking oil on your feet. I didn't say go eat a bunch of coconut oil, dude.
Yeah, well, it's probably a good idea. It's just...
Of course it's a good idea. I just told you to do it. What the fuck? You think I'm trying to steer you the wrong direction or something?
Do you think I should take my socks off first, Mike?
I would take your socks off, and then when you got it all gobbed up, then you should put your socks back on immediately, and that will give it all a chance to soak in really nice.
Yeah, well, my baby's in the Philippines, and so I monitor the Philippines, and 500,000 people in the Philippines have lost their job. The lockdowns there are so vicious and so obscene. If you
does your baby smoke weed?
No, I never really asked her.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know, it's kind of an illegal substance in the Philippines, but here, man, it's like, you know, I'm sitting around with 30 pounds of weed, fucking 20 feet from me, and it's like it's nothing in California, but there it's like you go to prison forever. You know, they throw you in jail if you don't wear a fucking mask, dude. They throw you in jail.
Duarte's gonna execute people with fucking 30 pounds of weed in the street, right in front of their house, so everybody can see. Himself, he fucking pulls a gun out and shoots people in the fucking head.
Who's this?
Duarte.
Oh, Duterte, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they have all kinds of... I think the point I'm trying to make is that in America, in Oregon and Washington and California and lots of other states, maybe not Texas, we have all kinds of freedoms that other people can't even dream of. It's like, you mean you can...
Would you like her to smoke weed?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, good. Then she sounds like, you know, I'm sure you can steer her that direction.
Oh, no problem whatsoever. It'd be so good for her. You know, she's probably so cannabinoid starved. And the kid, by the time they get here, the kid will be almost 15. And you bet your motherfucking ass I'm going to give her the best trip of her life. The first, I'm going to go take her to a park, and we'll smoke some weed, and
that sounds lovely. You sound like a very romantic guy.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like, what else is there to do on planet Earth than be really nice to people that have suffered? There's no greater thing.
Well, and enjoy nature and, you know, connect with nature. And there's a lot of good things about Earth. That's what I'm saying. You know, again, and people want to, you're like, oh, there's good on the Earth. I see it every day all over the place. Okay, I don't need to be told that there's good on the earth. You know, that's why I reacted to you. You know, what's that goodness and fucking 50 cents by you? It's because you got to snap out of it. People want to act like there's no good on the earth. That's not what I do. I talk about my day and how much I enjoy it and my dogs and all kinds of stuff. There's no good in our government. That's the problem, and that's the point I keep making again and again.
Right, yeah. Pathological personalities are attracted to positions of power. And you'll notice the difference between someone who's so fucking uptight and so fucking rigid and should be smoking weed but isn't, and hates people who smoke weed and categorizes them and just, you know, you're not good, and
I think that's partially why the news stories, like they're talking about this joints for jabs, or we've been playing that story tonight, and I think, you know, it starts off with them saying cannabis maybe once, and then it turns into pot and weed and marijuana, and it's like what you're saying. I can just see what they're doing is they're triggering all these people who don't like the idea of people having weed and how much they hate those people who use weed. And it's but if they just said cannabis, people like that, half of them might not even know what the fuck they're saying.
Right. It's like you got to hand. But 70 years ago, you remember a little film called Black Asphalt, I think it was? It was a film about marijuana. And there was Reefer Madness, too. Remember Reefer Madness?
Yeah, Black Asphalt was about marijuana?
I'm pretty sure, or maybe just drugs in general. But,
oh, okay.
It's about how taking drugs, including marijuana, would make you have car crashes, you know,
Yeah.
shit like that. It just scare the shit out of you. And of course, you remember Nancy Reagan's "This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs," you know, with the scrambled eggs and stuff. It's like, oh my God, propaganda up the yin yang. Fucking Ronald Reagan probably would have been a blast on marijuana if he would have just smoked a little. He would have been a totally different person. Same with George Bush. These people.
George H. Bush.
Yeah, George Bush Senior.
I'm just saying, George W. Bush definitely smoked weed once or twice.
Yeah, I know. He also said his mom loves Ozzy Osbourne's music, so maybe his mom smoked weed.
It's hard not to.
So yeah, and and then thank God Bill Clinton didn't inhale. Otherwise, you know, we could have been a sea change. It would have changed history for the worse if he'd actually inhaled marijuana. Well, I didn't inhale. It's like, oh, you fucking liar. We should have kicked you out of office the moment you said that, you know. And then Barack Obama, well, I thought that was the purpose, was to inhale, you know. It's like, dude, you were fucking doing Quaaludes, Obama, so what the fuck? It's a crazy world, and the crazy people are on top. And
that's how the world got crazy.
Yeah. So we got to fight back, man. We got to fight back.
Yeah, but we don't want to make martyrs out of them. We want to make them. We want to make clear that they're the criminals who they are. You know, the worst criminals in the history of mankind. Do you hear what I'm saying, Nancy Pelosi? The worst criminals in the history of mankind. I am not fucking around here.
So I went to this great burrito shop in town and ordered the La Diabla, my favorite fucking burrito.
What are you bragging now?
Yeah, with chipotle sauce. This big giant fucking burrito for $8. It's like a whole goddamn day's worth of food, and super food too.
El Diablo is very spicy, I take it.
Yeah, it's feminine. La Diabla.
Oh, La Diablo. Okay.
So, and you know, on the 15th of this month, I think the CDC has already come out and said we don't have to wear masks anymore. So, isn't it? It's like, what is the thing? It's like, I gotta walk into the burrito store now with a mask on, and they gotta give me my hot sauce, and they gotta give me my cup of water. I can't just go get a cup of water myself. But on the 15th, it's going to be a whole different universe where I can walk in with no mask, and I'm qualified to handle my own hot sauce, and I can get my own glass of water, and I might even be able to talk to people. Thank God for the U.S. government giving me my freedoms, from which freedom originates is the United States. Salute the flag. America, fuck yeah!
You sound like my neighbor across the street, dude. Last night she was going off, and I was like, fuck. I went to go look what Craig was doing because I thought he was listening to something really loud on his computer. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And it was my neighbor across the street screaming her lungs out for like 25, 30 minutes. And it's all gibberish, just like what you were just saying.
Sounds like my kind of gal.
If you like crazy, you can have her. I'm telling you. She's got a nice pair of jeans, and it's really unfortunate she's crazy because, you know, but it's crazy as it gets. And
well, you know,
I know female crazy very, very well. Trust me.
Unfortunately, I bet you do, but unfortunately, I do too. And you know how when you have a person that is disturbed or you know, they got some kind of disorder, as long as you keep them calm, they're manageable, right? But what the government has done is they've stuck their stick into the ant farm of America, and they stirred up all the fucking ants, and now we're all scrambling around, and that's why everybody's going crazy. It's like, what have we got, 16 months of COVID, and you can't even talk about it yet, and well, you know, I'm surprised Rand Paul hasn't been arrested for the way he's just fucking with Dr. Fauci, Pope Fauci. It's like, oh man, I feel so sorry for Pope Fauci. We should be wearing 6 masks, Mike, and fucking praying.
Rand Paul's getting fucked with too. So,
By who?
He got a fucking leather with fucking powder in it the other day.
The other day because he was picking on Fauci?
About 2 weeks ago, he got a letter with fucking powder in it. Yeah, and that's, I'm not saying that's why he got it. I'm just saying that somebody's fucking with him.
Well, that's the first time I've heard of it. Wow. I know him and his wife got stuck outside of a protest about, 5 months ago somewhere in Washington, I think, and it was kind of hairy for a second there for him, but
I saw that happen to Ted Cruz, but I don't remember it happening to Rand Paul.
Oh yeah, and his wife. I think it was a Black Lives Matter protest or something. I really don't know what it was, but yeah, they had to be escorted through the crowd, and people were throwing things, not necessarily at him. It was a ruckus, and I saw this great movie last night. You probably wouldn't like it, but maybe somebody else would. It's called Elizabethtown. It's free on. It's free on YouTube, and I posted another one on your Facebook page the other day called Fair Game. It's about Valerie Plame and Scooter Libby and the whole.
They really fucked Valerie Plame. She got screwed over so bad, man. I mean, she was some serious fucking spook too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she was serious. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what a woman, and and to take on the U.S. government, and then have the guy, what was it, 2-3 year battle, and it practically destroyed their family, and then the guy that they served up as a scapegoat, they put, I think Scooter Libby did 6 to 10 months or something like that, and then he got a pardon. It's like, oh yeah, well, he probably was like, a mafia guy in there cooking his own steaks, and I'm running out of barbecue sauce, and he's getting his linen taken care of. He's got a radio and privacy, and
Radio. What fucking century do you live in, dude? You got internet and fucking television, cable.
Right, cable, movies, it's got all the channels. What century am I living in? Well,
radio. I don't know. Does anybody listen to the radio if they're not driving their car?
I prefer not to. I kind of don't like commercials. I haven't listened to the radio in such a long time because
a century ago. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but radio used to be big, man. It's awesome.
I remember one time I was listening to a radio show. I can't remember what the name of the station was. I was probably like 10 or 11 years old, and they were giving away a transistor radio, the handheld ones. And I was like, oh man! And I won the transistor radio, and I was like so excited about this fucking thing. It's like, nobody, I might be a collector's, but I can't imagine anybody listening to music on anything like that now,
Well, even a boombox was high tech at one time,
Well, yeah.
So, but and then the music business has gone so downhill. It's like.
Have you seen the movie Walk Hard?
No. Is that the Dewey Cox story?
Yeah. You haven't seen it?
No. What did Dewey Cox do?
He was. It's real. If you're a musician, right? Because like every musician that I know, I'm like you have to watch this music. He's a musician.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
He sounds like a thug or some guy from the South or something.
No, he's from the South, but it's hilarious, and they show like they go through all these fucking eras of music, you know, like the Beatles and all this stuff. He hung out with everybody, right? And
It's a real character or a
no, it's a parody, but you know, they sing songs like "In my dreams you're blowing me some kisses," and then the girl says, "That's my favorite thing to do." But they went on tour, right? They actually took the band on tour. I think it was only one tour, but fuck, I wish I had seen it. I'll tell you that.
The same thing happened with the Soggy Bottom Boys from that movie with all those southern things, you know. I'm a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I forget the name of the movie, but it was a comedy with George Clooney. It was all southern music.
Oh, I kind of know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the title.
They went on tour too.
Oh, cool.
And I had some whack girlfriend that took me to the concert, and you know I kind of hate country music, but I actually thought the fucking concert was pretty fucking good, and it was all based on a movie, just like Dewey Cox, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I'm telling, the Dewey Cox movie. I every musician I know, I'm like, this is a movie you have to see. It's you know, you were talking about country music. Do you know the band Ween? Ween?
No.
They were on Beavis and Butthead. They played more Ween videos than any other video, any other band. So I'm saying they reviewed videos, or they would sit around watching videos all day, and that's what they played more than any. You know, they played a bunch of Gwar videos, but they played the Ween, and nobody really knew who Ween was when they were doing it, and they have an album titled 12 Great Country Hits, right? And they've been awarded from Nashville for, it's like one of the top 5 swing albums of all time. And I'm telling you, these guys do everything. They do kind of Middle Eastern music. They do some really serious rock and roll. And they're brothers, Gene and Dean Ween. So it's a really, really awesome band. If you get a chance, I would check it out. I'm sure you can type it into YouTube and find all kinds of awesome shit.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. Every time I hear of you know, not just music, but if I hear a reference to something and I don't know what it is, I'll stop what I'm doing and I'll figure out, you know, I'll go type it into Google and I'll figure out, oh, that's what that is. You know, I do that with music a lot too. It's like, there's so many artists all over the world, and most people in the West pay attention to Western music, but you know, you go to Pakistan, like there's a music that comes out of Algeria called Rai, R-A-I, that's called Rai music, and you got stars there, you got different kinds of Arabic stars all over the Middle East, and India has their stars, and you know, even there's you know, there's French rappers, people rapping really good rap in French. You don't know what they're saying, but it's really good rap, and so I really dig world music, music from all over the planet. And it's really good when you see a video from another country and they have English translations. It's like, oh my God! Sometimes the poetry is so immense. The meaning of the song is so powerful. Like in Tunisia, right? They had a revolution, and they overthrew their president in 2 weeks, and then the Egyptian revolution started right next door. That was 2011, and so all the people that overthrew the president of Tunisia, you know, so they got all these artists in Tunisia. They got together and they wrote this anthem for Tunisia, and you know, I'm too foggy right now to pull it up out of the file cabinet. but it's a great song and just poetry, and they're singing in I think Tunisian is in I guess I don't know what language, some kind of cross between Arabic and French, I think, and just awesome art going on all over the planet, and we got to keep this up as a species. A storm comes along and it wipes out the land and it tears the trees out, and your fucking half your roof is gone, and the plants are all ripped up, and then the sun comes up and the storm is past, and the birds still keep on tweet, tweet, cheep, cheep, cheep. And sometimes I wonder, God, nothing can kill the spirit of life. Nothing can kill the joie de vivre, the joy of life. And the birds know it. Look what just happened. They tore their tree out, and they're still tweeting. They're still happy to be alive. And if only humans, it's almost a curse to be a human, because we got memory, and then this memory, we got this tape loop in our head that keeps replaying all the bad things that happen, and we got to learn how to fight that tape loop in our head. And but if we could just get out of bed every day and appreciate life and the beauty of life and the art of life, and not let these robot people, that's what we're dealing with, is robot people, unnatural people, not let them control us and squish us and kill us. Fuck, we'll be okay. As long as you stay human and remember to count the beauty in your day, no matter whether you're in a big city or out in the country, doesn't matter. There's still beautiful shit happening. And associate with good people and stay human, and I think we'll win. As long as we stay human, we will win.
Okay. Nice to hear from
you. So are you going to give me your neighbor's phone number?
You already hooked up.
Right.
And you would come after me if I did that. So
I probably would. All right. Take care, dude.
Okay. So I don't think you have to recognize the good and count the good. It's good to be able to recognize what you need to do is come into this moment. Okay? The reason that you might not be seeing the good isn't because you're not counting it or you're not recognizing it. It's because you're not in this moment. It's because you're worried about what's going to happen tomorrow or a month from now or a year from now. Lots of people do that. What's going to happen a year from now? Lots of people. Most people are worried about what's going to happen next week. But next week, the thing about what's going to happen next week is that we always get through next week. Just like at the beginning of the plague, right? Everybody's like, I mean, not everybody, but some people, Manny, would call and say, we're all going to die. I was like, we're going to get through it. Whatever it is, because there's not another option. There's not another option. We're going to get through it. It's just like we don't have any other choice. And not only that, we always do get through it. So why would you worry about next week when week after week after week you get through it? You always get through it. So that doesn't do any good. And as far as, what happened last week, that's just a chemical reaction in your brain. It's not actually what's happening now. And because you have this chemical reaction, what's going on in your brain, you're not experiencing now. You're experiencing what happened last year, last week, tomorrow. And the only thing you can really and truly experience is what's happening right now. So, and that's the only way that you can recognize the good, is in this moment. So that's the most important thing. If you come into this moment, you'll see all kinds of interesting stuff. And I don't think you have to recognize the good so much as experience it. And I don't think it's that difficult unless you're in tomorrow or the next day or next week or yesterday or last month. Then it becomes much more difficult to enjoy what there is to enjoy in your life. Oh, you got a caller? Okay, send up a caller. He's got a caller. We've got a caller. I need a bong hit. I love my new bong. Maybe I don't need a bong hit, but I still want to take one. It's so pretty. Doesn't it look pretty? Watch it when the bubbles go through. So pretty. I gotta try and keep this one clean. I love my new bong. Hee hee hee. Uh-oh, we have a caller, ladies and gentlemen. Just stand by and we'll talk with them momentarily. Hello.
Hey, Mike, how are you doing tonight? This Tuesday, June the 8th, 2021. How are you?
I'm fine.
Really? Just fine. Only.
I'm fine. I've been working out in the garden. I've been farming all day, so I like.
You're still alive, right? You haven't fucking died yet, right?
I don't. I will be live long after I die, so don't worry about that.
Well, that's why I'm asking, because if you were to have perchance died yesterday, and I was just speaking to some apparition of Mox, I'd like to know.
Well, so would I.
But it's not the case, and that's great.
How would I know?
Still with us.
How would I know if I'm a ghost?
I don't know how you would know.
If I was a ghost, you think I would know it? I'd just be a disembodied soul wandering around, not understanding why no one's talking to me.
I watch Hollywood movies like everyone else, and often in the movies, the ghosts know. You know, like in A Christmas Carol, when the ghost is visiting with the other ghosts, they're traveling about. It doesn't take them too long to figure out, hey man, this is weird, and obviously we're not really here. I'm a ghost. Yeah. So it's all relative, right?
Mm-hmm.
Remember Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol? Ebenezer Scrooge.
I remember Scrooge.
Tiny Tim.
Yeah, I remember
Christmas
Tiny
Turkey,
Tim.
The Three Ghosts of Christmas, all of that. You know?
I don't remember the train.
I don't remember Train either. I think it was the movie, the book rather, was set in the 1840s. I don't think there were that many trains in Britain in the 1840s. It was kind of in the beginning, Anyway, I'm doing good, Mike. I'm having a nice day. It's been intermittent rain all day in Olympia, almost like thunderstorms, but not really because it's not that warm. It's only 65 degrees, but it was sunny in the morning, and then it started overcast and rain, and then it broke for an hour, and then the rain came back and it broke. It's been like that all day, so it feels like a late spring day, to be honest with you.
It's gonna feel that way for the next 2 weeks at least.
Fucking A, man. I've been reading about these droughts, Mike, and including the drought in Southern California down near the Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an article that I read today from it was from CNN, right? And it says Lake Mead at Hoover Dam to reach lowest water level in decades. So this is what CNN says. A crippling drought in the U.S. is dropping the water level at Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam to historically low levels, putting pressure on the region's drinking water supply and the dam's electric capacity. By Thursday, Lake Mead's water level is expected to sink to the lowest it has ever been since it started filling during construction of the Hoover Dam, according to the Bureau of Reclamation. And Mike, that's since 1927. All right. Lake Mead will most likely hit 1,071.61 feet on Thursday. That will match the previous lowest elevation on record since the 1930s. Lake Mead and Hoover Dam straddle the Arizona-Nevada state line along the Colorado River, about 35 miles southeast of Las Vegas. The river provides drinking water to Arizona, Nevada, Mexico, and also generates electricity for Arizona, California, and Nevada. And when you go down the article further, it talks about like how much electricity is generated when the dam is at a certain level and how much electricity is generated when the dam is at a lower level. And it's much less. It's like significantly less electricity they can generate from the dam. So it's affecting electricity rates in Phoenix, Las Vegas, San Diego, and Los Angeles. And it's also affecting the water, as I mentioned, I think earlier, in Arizona, Nevada, and rural California. So they'll start cutting water to places where, there aren't a lot of people, and they'll send the water to Phoenix and Las Vegas and Los Angeles. But think about it, man. Have you ever been? You've seen photographs of like Palm Springs, California, or like Orange County outside of Los Angeles, and these huge fucking, what are they? Golf courses, right?
Uh-huh.
Where it's just green grass with just watered constantly.
Yeah.
Right? That's gonna end. That's gonna fucking end. And god damn those people. Like it's like so fucking arrogant, right? I'm gonna get on an airplane and fly from fucking Minneapolis for a week holiday in Palm Springs. So I'm gonna waste gas and fuel to fly halfway across the continent. And then when I get there, I'm gonna spend my beautiful time on the golf courses, which are sucking all of the water out of the Colorado River system and wasting fucking electricity with all these little pumps, pumping all this fucking water on these grass fields, right? That's going to end, Mike.
I'm so sad about that.
Me too. Fuck those people. And they're going to hold out, but it'll be hilarious, right? When, like, we have people in Las Vegas, San Diego, Phoenix, and in Los Angeles that are having water shortages, where they go to, like, the ghetto, right? Like, they go to Englewood and they say, ma'am, we're going to ask you and your family to take 2 showers a day, period, for your whole family, and you're going to be able to do clothes once every 4 days. And these are water measures imposed by the city of Los Angeles, right? When this shit starts happening, fuck those golf courses, man. That they're just sucking the water out of that system. And I hope those people people run over their golf courses and burn down the country clubs. Fucking A. I'm looking forward to the day. Here, I'm going to drink to that, by the way. Cheers. Anyway, you had a good day, Mike?
Yes, it's fine.
That's good to hear.
I broke out a new bong. I'm very happy about that.
I saw that earlier. That looked like a nice piece.
$20.
That was like
$20.
Made by fuckers in China, and they made a nice piece.
Yeah, it's probably prison labor, but I'll get over it.
Yeah, you'll get over it, sure. But it's as nice as like, a $150 piece you would buy like at a glass shop.
Yeah. That's something.
Yeah,
It's very close to that.
For like a seventh of the price. Congratulations, man. I'm glad that you got the proper tool. And I don't feel guilty at all. Good job for you, all for trade. Hey, there was, today is June 8th, 2021, Tuesday. It's the day today. And 54 years ago, and I know this because my birthday is next week, and this happened a week before I was born. But today, on this day, 54 years ago, the state of Israel attacked the USS Liberty and killed 34 people and wounded over 100 people today. Are you familiar with that, Mike?
Yeah, I posted numerous videos about the USS Liberty.
Yeah. So this is a pretty mainstream source. It's called thehistory.com, and they do like the History Channel. I mean, they're like goddamn mainstream, right? So the Israelis can't even really hide from this. It more or less, this is what happened, right? During the Six-Day War, Israeli aircraft and torpedo boats attacked the USS Liberty in international waters off of Egypt's Strip, the Gaza Strip. The intelligence ship, well marked as an American vessel and only lightly armed, was attacked first by Israeli aircraft, then fired napalm and rockets at the ship. The ship attempted to radio for assistance, but the Israeli aircraft blocked the transmissions. Eventually, the ship was able to make contact with the USS aircraft carrier Saratoga, and 12 fighter jets and 4 tanker planes were dispatched to defend the Liberty. When word of the deployment reached Washington, D.C., Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara ordered the planes recalled to the carrier, and they never reached the Liberty. The reason why the planes were recalled remains unclear. Back in the Mediterranean, the intel air raid against the Liberty was over. 9 of 294 crew members were dead, 60 wounded. The ship was attacked by Israeli torpedo boats, which launched torpedoes, fired artillery at the ship. Under the command of its captain, William McDonnell, the USS Liberty managed to avert 4 torpedoes, but one of the torpedoes struck the ship at waterline. Heavy damage. The ship launched 3 lifeboats, but these were also attacked by Israel, a violation of international law. Failing to sink the boat, the Liberty, which displaced 10,000 tons, the Israelis finally desisted. 34 Americans were killed, 171 were wounded in the 2-hour attack. In the attack's aftermath, the Liberty managed to limp to a safe port. So, this happened 54 years ago today, June 8th, 2021. And it's a clear example of a naked aggression against the United States. Kind of unusual when you think about it. Not too many countries are so fucking bold as to just aggressively attack an American Navy ship.
Yeah.
But Israel did that.
Yeah, well,
Israel did that.
This is why I would really like to see a USS aircraft carrier pull up off the shore of Gaza and say the blockade is over, so that we could see, so that the whole world can see exactly what kind of ally Israel really is. Because Israel is no friend to America. They simply own our government, which means they're no friend to you or your family, because they own our government.
So I've done research on this, Mike. I don't have the sites and I won't link or make sites right now, but I've read about this for over 25 years. And basically what happened is after this incident occurred, 54 years ago today, is the United States Navy and the command of the United States Navy covered this incident up. So the leadership of the Navy said, we're not going to talk about this. Anybody on the ship, you don't ever talk about this ever again. Just like the JFK assassination. They said, shut the fuck up. If you were in Dallas, shut the fuck up. If you are aware of what has happened on June 8th, 1967 on the USS Liberty, and you were in the area, shut the fuck up. It might cost you your career.
Or your life.
And as a consequence of, or your life. And as a consequence of that, like, the American public, had just never, ever heard about this. And it's kind of resurfaced. Like, I'll give you an example. My mom died of cancer in 2005, right?
Uh-huh.
And my dad was stationed on a ship in the U.S. Navy in the Mediterranean in 1967 when this happened, right?
Uh-huh.
And I tried to talk with him about this because he was like on a destroyer in the Mediterranean associated with whatever, the 6th Fleet or whatever the fuck that was. And he wouldn't talk about it, right? So we were driving from Illinois to Minneapolis, to outside of Minnesota. We were going to the Mayo Clinic where my mother was receiving cancer treatment. And on the drive, we were driving across the state of Wisconsin. I said, the radio, it's like radio time. And I'm like, dude, just put it on the low end of the channel and see what we find. And we found Amy Goodman's Democracy Now! And she had a 1-hour program about the USS Liberty, right? And it was like live from people who were like there and present and talking about what happened on that boat on this day, June 8th, 2021, or 1967. And it was interesting because my dad, who was actually on a Navy boat on a bridge in that theater of war, did not claim to know anything about what happened. And for an hour, we drove across Wisconsin, and just with my mom and dad in the car, and I just like, he didn't know what the fuck was going on. So like the U.S. Navy is all of these soldiers and sailors who were in this area, they didn't even know what was going on. It's this boat was isolated and it was attacked by Israel, and then just the U.S. Navy shut down, and nobody was allowed to talk about it for like 30, 40, 50 years, Mike. It's a crime. And these people are not our friends. You know why they destroyed that Navy boat? Was because the U.S. Navy was conducting surveillance of Israel right during the war with Egypt, Jordan, and Syria.
They were surveilling everyone. They were surveilling all communications, not just Israel. They were
both sides.
Yeah,
Egypt and Israel and so on. So they were just basically monitoring the situation, and just for having like radar up and doing monitoring in the ocean, they were attacked by Israel, and which was supposed to be our allies. And in fact, we were giving them the guns and the bombs and all of that crap that they were using to attack Jordan, Egypt, and Syria. So it's like, what the fuck? You don't do something like that to your ally. It's typically, whatever. I don't play Risk a lot, right? But like that's a normal strategy. It's like you don't fuck over your neighbor when you're playing like geopolitical war. And they did that. And there were no repercussions.
It's like I said, they didn't just do that. They didn't just do their neighbor. They did their best friend, okay? And and then nobody talked about it, and it's what I'd really like to see. I'd really like to see an aircraft carrier pull up off the coast of Gaza, say that this crimes against humanity blockade stops now, and then we'd know what kind of friend Israel really is. Because Israel will not only level fucking Gaza, they're going to take out that aircraft carrier too, because they are no friend to the United States. They are not an ally.
I think they're only really looking out for their own self-interest, and they work with the Americans and the Israelis have a horrible track record, by the way, of like working with the worst fucking regimes ever in the world. So like in South Africa, the apartheid regime in South Africa from like 1965 to 1985, Israel helped them develop nuclear weapons in South Africa.
Chris, I gotta take a break.
Guatemala.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in Guatemala and Nicaragua, these really horrible governments, Israel was selling them guns and stuff.
That's what they do. They sell. And
Yeah,
that's
they
what
work
we
with
do.
the
That's
worst
what
of the
they
worst.
do. It's horrible. We deserve better.
Yeah,
the
horrible.
world deserves better.
Horrible things, Mike. That's a fact. Yesterday I mentioned to you that the House in Connecticut approved a marijuana legalization bill.
Yeah.
And according to Stop the Drug War Today, which is Tuesday, the Senate in Connecticut approved that bill.
Good. That's great.
Marijuana legalization bill. So they approved it with a vote of I don't know it doesn't say what the vote is, but it's going to take up the Governor Ned Lamont will have an opportunity to sign the bill later in the week.
Excellent.
So it looks like
That's
it passed.
awesome.
Yeah, and then a couple of other quick notes.
Chris,
about,
I gotta take a break, dude. I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it, Mike.
Yeah, I'll talk to you
I'm
soon.
glad to talk to you.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Have a good night, Mike. Peace.
All right, so I'm going to play a quick video for you guys, and I'll be right back. And if anybody wants to call, or Craig might have a caller, we'll do that in a minute.
Our state's first $250,000 vaccine lottery winner has been chosen, but we don't know who it is yet. And you might not know either, even if it's you. State lotto officials will contact all of these weekly winners by phone or email. And then you have 72 hours to call back or email back and claim the prize. Otherwise, you'll be disqualified. According to the Washington Post, the rate of vaccinations in our country has dropped off so steeply that we are not likely to reach President Biden's goal of getting 70% of the population vaccinated or started by July 4th. But the incentives keep coming with our new lottery in Washington state, other places, free drinks, donuts, and as Catherine Cook explains now, free weed.
So you still haven't gotten your COVID vaccine. At this point, what's it going to take? The state of Washington hopes that for some people, the answer might just be a little bit of free marijuana. You know, kind of like bars and restaurants have been allowed to give away free drinks as vaccine incentives.
The cannabis industry had been asking to do the same. And in our discussions, we decided that we could find a way to be able to make that happen.
Brian Smith is with the Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board. He says the Joints for Jabs promotion is a temporary allowance that runs through July 12th. Through it, state-licensed cannabis retailers in Washington can hold in-store vaccine clinics for adults 21 and older. After getting vaccinated, participants may then receive one pre-rolled joint and no other product as part of the deal.
This was a big step for us. To my knowledge, we've never allowed the giveaway of any marijuana or cannabis to any adult consumers. But this was a step that we thought that we had some decent controls around it.
I would love to see that happen in Oregon.
Sam Rothaker is a bud tender at Kaya Shack, a cannabis retailer in Southeast Portland.
Thanks for coming in. Thank you.
While they can't incentivize getting shots with free marijuana, Kaya Shack is offering a 10% discount to customers who bring in their vaccine cards. They hope it does some good.
The incentive to go get the vaccine, just as a general public health, support. Also, just kind of a reward for people coming out of this. It was a really long time. You can tell it kind of brightens the whole mood surrounding it.
Points for jabs. Royal Caribbean is getting ready for its summer cruises to set sail, but only people departing from Seattle will have to be fully vaccinated on board. Royal Caribbean says travelers 16 and older setting sail to Alaska have to be fully vaccinated. Starting in August, the same rule applies to kids as young as 12, but the same rules do not apply to cruises departing from Florida or Texas. The Alaska cruises set sail from Seattle starting July 19th. 12:34, the Moderna vaccine could be available to kids as young as 5 by the fall. That, according to the CEO of the company, who says they are working out the right dosages for young children. They expect their data back by September. Of course, even then, it'd be a couple of months to get FDA approval. Right now, 12 to 15-year-olds in our country can only get the Pfizer vaccine, and children...
All right, enough people getting stuck in the arm. Really tired of seeing that. I apologize that you had to see that again. You see, I wanted to leave that last little part in because they were talking about vaccines for kids as young as 5. Woo! So this thing with the vaccines in the recreational cannabis stores, right? And they're all like, "Yeah, let's do it. It's great. We love that idea." I just wouldn't want people doing that. I mean, not the vaccine. Go ahead and do what you want vaccine-wise, but I don't want people getting stuck with needles around me. When I know people that have needles, I tell them, "Don't be doing that shit around me. I don't want to see it. I don't want to know about it." Because it's ugly. I don't like it. That's why I apologize that you had to see another person get stuck in the arm. That's why I cut the last story off a little bit short, because it looked like another person was going to get stuck in the arm on video, which I'm incredibly tired of. So, it would bother me if I worked in a place. And these places are not giant. There's room for people to come in, 10, 20 people. I'm sure they're not letting that many people in now. A lot of them aren't that big. There's room for, 3, 4 people, and they kind of control how many people go into the room at one time, which I guess they're doing everywhere now. That's kind of like the policy. But the point is, to be getting vaccinated, to be using a needle, to doing this medical thing, to be doing this around people in a public setting is, I don't know why, but it really bothers me. It's like I said, you know, with people hanging their arm out the car door, you know, at the car window to get a vaccine in a parking lot. I could never have imagined this in my life. When I imagine a lot of things, I think about all kinds of stuff all the time, and I'm a very imaginative guy. But I could never have imagined that. You know, people on both sides hanging their arm out the car. It's mind-blowing. It's like this, like I keep saying, a Twilight Zone episode, and it's freaking me out, man. So I would not be comfortable working in a place where especially this tight little area where they were doing that. You know, drawing blood, poking people with needles. Generally, when you get poked with a needle, well, if it goes into a vein, they have to draw blood. I don't know about this being shot into the arm thing. Hello?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Brandon.
Hey, Brandon. How are you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good. I was just listening to you, and the way I look at it, Mom, is when it comes to like just trying to get people vaccinated or make it easier or what the fuck ever, and how you said like you just couldn't imagine like people just riding up and sticking their arm out of their car and getting shot at and driving off, right?
Yeah.
Can you? But listen though, can you imagine what everybody went through with like shit like polio, where a motherfucker just rode to town on a horse or some shit like that? You know what I'm saying? And it was just as crazy, man.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I can't imagine that either. I can't imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, but I think that with this situation or that pandemic, and I hope that let's just get over it. You know, we can argue about how it got here, who did it, and why, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's just get past it.
Yeah.
And then we can have that conversation later.
Yeah, I just want the whole fucking stupid shit to go away, man.
Dude, it's like I have friends that got it, didn't get it, and whatever, and some who feel different about it. And I'm like, listen, man, at the end of the day, when I got vaccinated and my wife got vaccinated and my son that's 16 got vaccinated,
yeah.
It feels, to be honest, it's a little psychological that you can just breathe. I'm telling you, like now, like in Missouri, here in St. Louis, it's opened up. You ain't got to wear a mask unless a particular store or a business owner says wear a mask. You know, but if people wear a mask, no one's fucking with them. If people don't wear a mask, no one's fucking with them.
That's really good,
you know?
because it's real. People were fucking with people before not wearing masks, and I think that if that happens now, it's going to get even more tense than it was before, because they're saying, oh, well, you don't have to wear a mask, or you do have to wear a mask. It's going to be really like an angry thing. So hopefully that won't be happening. And I'm glad to hear that it's not happening where you're at, because here it's like if you go to the store, you pretty much have to wear a mask. Not always, but a lot of the vaccinated people are still wearing masks. So.
Yeah, and that's just out of Google. You know what? To be honest, well, when I was in Korea for that year, when I was stationed there, I've seen the Koreans always wear masks. When I was in Japan, it's just a thing that they do over there.
Yeah.
And maybe this is something that we can pick up on, especially when the flu season picks up, to protect the elderly. I have no idea. But I can just honestly say that if it was world domination or whatever, but I have a peace of mind. and so does my family, and so does other people who want to come around us, like your neighbors.
Yeah.
Like we go to church,
Yeah, no,
mosques, you know, like
I had a neighbor the other day, and we were walking past her, me and the dogs, and and she started talking. I said, "Hey, how's it going? How's your dog?" She was out in their yard gardening, and she said, "All we need to do is get a few more people vaccinated, and we can be back to normal." It's just like, that's the last thing I'm going to talk with about one of my neighbors. And it was this really weird thing that just came out of left field to me. So I don't really care, you know. I mean, I'd like this stuff to go away and not happen again, but I don't really care if you got vaccinated or not.
Me neither. But it, like, whenever the CDC opened their guidelines, and like, you know, my wife's the church lady, so I'm like, all right, we're going to church. I'm like, all right, man, we get to the church and they're like, hey, look, you know, it's on you if you want to wear a mask or not. And everybody was so happy just to see people's teeth. And that's all I can say about getting vaccinated. People feel safe around you. You know what I'm saying? You know, period. And it gives you some form of a peace of mind, or maybe it's just a placebo effect. I have no fucking idea. But it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I imagine that a lot of people get a sense of, okay, I'm protected now, you know, relief.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good that people have that, because people were going kind of, you know, you could tell people were getting very, very worried about, you know, what could possibly get worse? How could it possibly get any worse? And, you know, when you say shit like that, it gets worse. So it's good that they have something that makes them feel safer.
Yeah, you know, that, and I think it's weird, because if you think about it, what happened to us last year, because we all went through it, like what gets me mocked is people think it's a Republican or Democrat thing, but we all went through that bullshit last year. You know what I'm saying? We went through that. We went through this crazy-ass fucking election. We went through January 6th, and there was some motherfucking UFOs. What the fuck is next? He-Man? You know what I'm saying? But we did it together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have to understand that, okay, I don't like wearing, like, plaid shirts, but I'm with you. Because we have to do it together. And that's just so ridiculous. The part about it is, it seems like there's 1/3 of everything that's American doesn't want the 2/3 to come together. It's ridiculous.
You don't have any.
You don't have any.
Yeah. You don't have any flannel shirts?
Yeah, of course I do.
Oh,
but
I thought you said
in general. You know, well, listen, Moss, I could have said shit kickers. It didn't matter. Or white tee. I just said flannel shirts. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm fucking with you. Next time you wear a flannel shirt, I'm gonna bust your balls, okay?
Well, you feel free to do that when you need to, bro.
No, I never do that to you, Mark.
Well, I can take it. That's all I'm saying. Have you been to the dispensary lately?
Went today.
Nice. It's so nice to have that option, huh?
And you know what, dude? I went and got some pre-rolls.
Yeah?
And I got, and they got a sale, like 2 for 1.
Nice.
So like typically they're like $19. You get, you know, 2. So I bought like 4 of those.
Ooh.
And then I walked by and I glanced down and there's a pre-rolled blunt. And I bought one of those. I'm still on the son bitch.
Oh yeah.
It's been like I don't know how many hours. Yeah.
Pretty tasty,
yeah,
huh?
Man.
Pretty good.
Oh, it's great, man. Yeah, it's great. But again though, it's just like that peace of mind. You ain't gotta worry about, oh fuck, I gotta meet, you know, I don't know, Leonard in the dark alley and have nothing but 20s on it. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, or go to a certain neighborhood and tilt your hat a certain way. It's so fucking ridiculous, man. They just need to go ahead and just get this shit over with and shit, man. You know.
It needs to go away. I heard the CDC is going to say on June 15th it's safe for everyone not to wear a mask anymore.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, just in time for
but
summer.
Again,
just in time for summer.
But you know what? No, Mark, if everybody does their part, you know, it's like say if everybody cuts their grass, right, or cleans their home, then there won't be no cockroaches in the neighborhood, or no rats.
It's not that easy to get rid of cockroaches or rats, bud.
Well, what I'm saying is,
what I'm saying is cutting the grass isn't going to do that.
Well, you know, meaning keeping your area nice and neat. They won't even move in. They be like, oh, hell no, this shit too clean. There ain't no food on the floor. We out of here. Peace. All right? And if everyone just does their part in their community when it comes to this whole COVID shit, whether it be I want to wear a mask or not going to wear a mask, then I think we'll be okay, and I think we should be able to get over it. Very, very significant. I don't think summer's going to be a bad expansion. I think it's going to be a lot better than what we think, and hopefully, because I got kids, I want my kids to go to school because they didn't go to school last year; they stayed home. But we're prepared if the kids got to stay home. That's fine. But we want our kids to go back to school. They want to go back to school, you know. But hopefully, everybody's responsible so that we can open back up. Because again, we're all in this together. And that's the way that we need to look at it. And that's it. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. We're all in it together. You know, if I fuck up, I can fuck up for everybody in the room. I get everybody fucking COVID or whatever. I can fuck everybody money up. You know, I can fuck everybody high up because I'm stupid or whatever. Or I'll fuck, you know. But if we all just do it together and just take it slow, I think we'll be okay, man. Hopefully.
No, look at Brendan. We're going to be okay. You know how I know that? Because it always turns out that way. It always turns out okay. So it's like I said at the beginning of this. We're going to get through it because we don't really have another option. And we always get through it. Whatever it is, we always get through it. So I'm all for us doing, getting together and making it happen together. The thing is what I want to make happen together is for us all to recognize the common enemy, which is the government. They're the only threat to our freedom. Not Russia, not China, not Iran. I want everyone to recognize and it's not the Democrats and it's not the Republicans, it's both of them that have brought us to this moment right now in history where they're looking at everybody's computer, watching everything they do on their phones. They're the ones that have kept the drug war going for as long as they possibly can. They're the ones brought us a heroin epidemic, all this bullshit that's wrong. And so we just have to recognize that it's this government. It's the people, the politicians, that not only spend their whole life in the government, congressman, senator, mayor,
Okay, Mike, so let me ask you a question then. I agree with you, but one of the problems is that the people who put these people in charge can fire them at any given moment. You can do recall, and they have to rerun for election, and a lot of these people never, ever, ever get fired. Senators or congressmen and women. You know what I'm saying? Like, they hardly ever get fired.
Yes, I agree. It has a lot to do with who has how much money,
But if everyone that do it...
And then there's the name recognition thing, and I never heard of this guy, so I'm going to vote for the guy who I know, and there's just a ton of shit, man. Good, Puff?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. But again, though, that's like someone saying, okay, I'm going to vote for something just because I don't like people who wear blue shoes. And by me voting that way, my county, my town or whatever, eventually is going to go broke.
Well, that's
But
not.
I hate Blue Shoes that much.
I didn't say anything about Blue Shoes. What I'm saying is these guys have all the money. The incumbents have all the money, all the attention. They're the ones that are going to go on CNN. They're the ones that are going to be all over the news, where the other person might get on the news once in a while and might have a little bit of money, but not nearly enough to truly compete. It's like... there's this level of my friends used to race pro motocross, right? Dirt bikes pro, right?
Yeah.
And they would tell me that that they'd be just flying, going as fast as they possibly can. And the guys with the sponsors, the guys that had Honda, the guys that had Yamaha, sponsoring them, they just go fucking pew right past them. Because they had all the money. So this is all I'm saying is that they have the money, they have the attention, they're the real pros. So it's going to be hard to beat them.
Well, I think things are changing.
I sure hope so.
That no. I mean, just like a small market candidate, you have to give credit to AOC. And you have to give credit to like Marjorie Taylor Greene, small candidate, come out of nowhere. The guy in the wheelchair in North Carolina, small candidate, come out of nowhere. So, like, for us, the big money backing, I don't really believe that anybody really needs that anymore. But what's sad is that nothing's getting done. So it's like everyone's voting against each other. It doesn't matter if you're a Republican, but not all Republicans live in brick houses. Some Republicans, don't even have a house. But yet they'll vote against each other. Like, okay, well, I'll vote for you, but for you to keep your taxes. But I'm voting for my taxes to keep you down because I don't want competition. And the Democrats ain't no damn better.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's really not two sides. They work together. It's not the Democrats that did this to us. It's not the Republicans. It's both of them working hand in hand happily to crush our freedom. And they're the real threat. They're the only threat to our freedom, to your children's freedom. And they're going to use up every bit of it, lock down every bit of your freedom, every bit of your children's freedom that they can. I mean, it's very nice. I'm very happy that you have medical marijuana, B. The thing is that if it was up to them, I don't think you'd have it. If it was up to Washington, D.C. So... It's not right. They're not about the people. They're certainly not about the working class. And I just want to see, the everyday Joe get a break. I'm tired.
It's funny you said that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's funny what you said about the people. Like, I've been in Missouri for about almost 4 years now, and it's a blessing while I'm here. But I didn't know what Missouri was like, because I'm a suburb of St. Louis. But I can honestly tell you, yes, Missouri's a red state, but Missouri doesn't vote for $15 an hour minimum wage. They did the medical marijuana thing. They decriminalized stuff.
Yeah.
Even though they vote conservative, but they know that all this bullshit they voting for affects their families.
Yeah.
So they're like, you know what? This is past this bullshit trying to point at one group of people. Everyone does it. I don't want my grandson to get in trouble.
Absolutely.
And that's absolutely what the fuck we need. I just fucking hope that like people can just look at that, and not get to the point to where it's about a certain thing. Like, I'm from Tennessee. So they're moving Nathan Bedford Forrest's remains and his wife's remains from his park in Memphis, and they're moving it to the Confederate Memorial in my hometown of Columbia, Tennessee. because the people in Memphis is like, we don't want this man's remains here in this park. And Memphis is like a really, it's the black city. It's really, it's very, very black. And they took it as the answer. And the guy in San was buried there. Him and his wife was buried there in like 1903 or some shit. And now they are moving this shit out there. But what's crazy is that right there will start a major fire that's irrelevant to getting anything done in politics. Like that dead guy being moved, Mike, which you may want to look into it. But that's not going to like really affect the stock market, create jobs, or really start like a world war.
No, but if
the
it makes
media makes it, you know what I'm saying?
If it makes the people there feel, like maybe they don't have this thing hanging over their head, like that they're the oppressed. This is the oppressor that we're celebrating, and we're really still not that unoppressed, So I can see it bothering them, and I hear what you're saying. It's not gonna make anybody any money. I just think there has to be much higher priorities than that, or we're doomed, Brandon.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Like we're over bitching about, I don't fucking know, potato head lady, whatever that fucking toy is. That's just a waste of time and space to not get nothing done. That's like when your son comes home from school and he has a busted nose, and you look at him, and he comes up to you, and you don't even talk about him, getting beat up or if he got in a fight. That's not fixing the problem. Talking about potato people or toys or a movie or or fucking books, Dr. Seuss and shit. That's not going to create a job. That's just, again, people who talk about freedom, and then when someone doesn't want to make a book no more, then they bitch about it. Well, it's their book. Capitalism. They don't make another fucking book with their business.
Yeah,
What's
no,
wrong?
I hear you. I think, again, this is what I say about YouTube. If you don't want to read that book, there's millions of other books. If you don't want to hear what it is I have to say, don't censor me. Just realize that there's millions of other fucking YouTube pages to go to, and go find one that you like. Don't fuck with us because we're having a discussion that you don't care for. If that's what you want, go find someone that you like what they're saying. I don't think that's the way to go myself. I think it's better to find people that are actually genuinely interesting and see maybe if you can be part of the discussion, which is why I do what it is that I do.
Oh, man, that's why you're good at it. Man. Been here forever.
Is it hot where you are?
It's starting to warm up. It is. It's just starting to warm up, man. That's about it.
Yeah, it was it was like 69 degrees here today, and
oh no, man, it's getting up there. I had the AC on all day today.
Holy moly! Nobody in this neighborhood has air conditioning. We don't do that here in Western Washington.
That's how it was when I was stationed in Jersey. Nobody really had
Oh my
AC.
God. In Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be horrible.
Well, I didn't live in the city. I kind of lived in the country when I was up there. But yeah, we had a wall unit, you stuck in the window.
Yeah.
And we was renting a pretty big house, it was a bi-level or whatever,
Yeah.
and shit, 2-car garage and shit. But yeah, but that AC, it was. But you just raised the windows, and when we was at, again, we went in the city, we was fine.
Huh.
But yeah, but y'all got that beautiful Pacific Ocean and that wind blowing on you, man. That's a blessing.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I need to live close to large bodies of water. I don't know why, but I can tell you that it kind of makes me feel not right when I'm not around a large body of water. So I need it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And you're right. We're very lucky to have what we have here. We live in a rainforest. There's just nature everywhere.
Exactly.
It's and there's drought everywhere else. We don't have that issue, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really
because like the back end of Oregon and I think Washington State, right, is like connect. You know, it's a stretch that's desert, right?
Eastern Washington, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, and, well, they grow a lot of produce there. I don't think you'd call it a desert so much, but
I think Oregon is then.
it gets pretty hot. It gets pretty hot over there, I can tell you that for sure.
Mm.
And it gets pretty hot in Oregon, too. Portland can be fucking blazing hot. But here, like I said, it was like 69 degrees today. It's going to be like 49 degrees tonight. All in the next 2 weeks, it's not going to get above 75 degrees once.
Wow.
It's fucking perfect, dude. I love it. And that's perfect for me. I can't, anything over about 80 degrees and I start to melt, so.
Well, you know, my son's got 2 more years, and when he graduates, we're going to move, I believe.
Going where?
I said, well, when my son graduates high school, you know, we're going to move.
Yeah, you don't got a place picked out? You don't know where you're headed?
My wife, well, I always want to go farther west, maybe like Colorado, Oregon, you know, like Washington State. Not necessarily California, because it costs too much.
California, there's a lot of crazy people in California. I would not recommend California.
Yeah, I know. I believe it. But I'd probably say or either maybe Colorado, Arizona, Oregon, or Washington State. Because I've never heard anything bad about people from those states. Like when I was in the military, you meet people from those states. They're not crazy. Then people that get stationed in those locations, they never say nothing bad about it. So I'm thinking, hey.
I've always said, as far as Washington, I've always said the Northwest is a better quality of life. That's what I've traveled around a lot, and that's what I've experienced here. And I love this weather. This weather is not for everybody. You know, like I said, it's not going to get over 75 for the next 2 weeks. And a lot of people like it warmer than. I have friends from Hawaii that just moved here, and they're like, I can't get warm. But you know, it's because you know they're used to something a little bit more tropical. Although I think it's tropical here too. We have what we call the banana belt, and it goes right over us. So we get a lot of. That's why the weather is so mild here.
Yeah, like I kind of, whenever I went to Wyoming 2 years back for that veterans retreat that I got invited to, and that's the first time I was like, wow, like this is like where I'm from in the southeast. We got wood.
Yeah.
I see forest. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a forest. That's not no wood. You know, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And that's really what that North Pacific realm of a great country that we have had.
Yeah.
You know, just all that that untapped nature where a tree can live, and I'm assuming since you live in that region, with all those trees and that, I don't know, it's gonna be weird, man. Like that good air.
Yeah.
It's probably why you see a lot less violence, a lot less major issues. You know, shit.
I think, you know, marijuana being legal helps with that, you know, cannabis being legal. But it's always been a pretty chill, you know, it's like I said, it's just a better, and that's partially why I say not to go to California, and there's a lot of crazy people there, is because there's everywhere, when I'm there, it's like you're always waiting for something bad to happen. You know, it's like all around you. You can just feel the tension, you know. So I don't like it there. And you're always kind of waiting for something violent to happen. That's been my experience when I've been there. So, you know, not that it's some fear that I take with me everywhere I go. It's just, you know, this state of mind that I can feel, you know. And it's not that I'm afraid of it. It's just you're like waiting. You just know something bad's going to happen anytime now. Might not affect me, probably won't. But you got to be aware. You know what I mean? If that's about to happen, you need to be aware of what's going on. So, I just wouldn't recommend. I spent a lot of time in California, and but that was in the 70s and early 80s, and ever since I've been back there, or every time I've gone back there, it's just been, I got to get out of this place.
Yeah. Oh no, like I'm in California in August.
Oh, right on. Didn't you say your daughter lives there?
Yeah, she lives in Fresno. Yeah.
That's where I was born.
Yeah, but that's not where I'm going. I'm going to California. I'm going to Palm Springs.
You're not going to go see your daughter?
I'm going to Coachella.
Oh, nice.
I don't even know. This is a planned trip for me to go see some of my Army buddies.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going and then we do fantasy football. So once a year, this is what we do, and they all live in California. So this is my first trip out there, and we do like the fantasy football draft shit.
Yeah.
You know, and when we make bets, like this year, someone had to get a tattoo. The guy who lost.
You should go to Vegas, man.
Well, I talked to my buddy's wife. I talked to him yesterday and said, hey, man, I want to talk to your wife about some things. And she was like, hey, we can't wait for you to come. And I've known these people for like over 20 years,
Yeah.
Him and his wife and stuff. And he's been out the Army for a long time, doing very well. His wife, they got kids. And, and she's like, we don't know what to do when you get here. I'm like, hey, I don't give a damn. I like this. Let me hang out with y'all.
Yeah.
Because, they've been together since high school.
Yeah.
And I've always heard about their parents and, and their siblings. I'm like, I just want to hang out with y'all, to be honest.
Yeah.
You got to do nothing.
Yeah, just hang out and enjoy good food and the weather and everything. Yeah. I hear you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. And like they're all Mexican. I don't speak no damn Spanish. I'm fucked up anyway. I'm just give me, whatever. Just keep me going.
Yeah, well, it's always been my experience that Latin people are some of the best to hang out with.
Yeah, that's what me and we were talking about. I was talking about with them about how hard they work.
All I know is I used to hang out with some people in Tahoe that were Hispanic, heritage, and man, they were just so nice. They're like, come on and come in our house and, let's barbecue. And they would make the best food and we just hang out and chill, Oh, here, smoke some mota. It's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what's up. But yeah, man, but everybody works hard, but yeah, man, but I'll be out there in August, man, and hang out.
Awesome.
And one question. I don't think these are UFOs.
Uh-huh.
I think they're Atlanteans.
A what? Oh, Atlantis?
Atlantis people. Yeah.
Why?
Because it got swallowed up by the ocean, and I listened to an interview. I'm about to find it. I'm about to send it to you. But the guy said that these things, they travel through lava tubes, through planet Earth, and there's different ports where they pop out of.
So you think that...
But they're not like humans.
Yeah.
What we would say humans.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard that also. I think that that's a good chance where some of them are coming from, but I also think that there's extraterrestrial ships coming also.
Oh yes, of course, that yeah. I'm assuming it should be.
Well, yeah. I've seen giant fucking ships in the sky, Brandon.
No shit.
Oh yeah, like the size of a mountain, So,
did you ever go public with it?
There's like 1,000 people who saw it at the same time. I had people in the car with me. We were driving on the freeway. The freeway was pretty fucking packed. I've talked about it here on the show a few times. It was, what was really weird was we're driving, we saw it, and then they turned on the radio, and Art Bell was on the radio. I don't know if you know who that is. But,
yeah, Art Bell, yeah.
Yeah, he used to talk about,
coast to coast.
Yeah, and he was on the radio and he was talking about how there had been mass sightings in Canada. It just happened, and mass sightings in France. And I'm telling you, the people that were with me in the car just started freaking out, man. I had my girlfriend in the car. She started crying her eyes out, saying, "What if I never get to see my mom again?" And I'm like, listen, we're like 10 miles from your mom's house. If I got to carry you on my back to go see your mom, we'll get there, you know? And the guy that was driving the car pulls the car over into a Safeway parking lot, goes to the trunk, pulls a shotgun out of the truck, and starts loading it up. I come up to him and I say, "Dude, what are you doing?" He's like, "We got to be prepared." And I said, "Look around, okay? Look around. What do you see? Is there something we have to be prepared for?" And he's like, "We got it, you know." I said, "There's nothing happening. Look around." And I said, "Trust me, if there's some business we got to take care of, we'll take care of it." And he calmed the fuck down. But man, I mean, everybody freaked out. I don't really freak out, but they were very upset. So.
Man, hey, you know what got me was whenever you said your girlfriend was freaking out, like, "I'm not gonna see my mom again." And just how you said, it was like, "Hey, chill out.
Yeah.
I'll carry you to your mom's house. Okay, don't worry about it. All right." And I can just see like this issue, and you like, "Hey, bitch, shut up. I'll carry you. Don't worry about it."
Well, no, it's not so much that as I don't want her to be upset when there's no reason to be upset. You know, I mean, she's like crying, man.
Like.
She's like crying. I'm like, "Honey, we're just like 10 miles away. If we have to walk every step from here, we'll get to see your mom." You know, so, and there was nothing to be upset about, except for, this is something I've never seen before and I don't know how to deal with it, you know? And I don't know that I get that way. I don't know if I've ever been that way before or not. So.
Yeah. That's what's up.
Yeah, but I was talking last night about, I was sitting on the roof one night in my friend Sam's apartment building, and we were just up there. We had been barbecuing, and we were just sitting on the roof looking at the stars, right? And literally on the roof. We didn't have folding chairs or anything. And we're just looking at the stars, and I jumped straight up, and I pointed into the sky, and I said, "There they are!" And my friend said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Right there!" And he's like, "I don't see anything." And they were these big black giant triangles, man, 2 of them. And and they just they were there, and then they just kind of disappeared, like they cloaked themselves or something, you know, like they just became uncloaked. And I went, "There they are!" And they went, you know, like, "Hey, Mike," and then they fucking disappeared again. So that, you know, it was just for me, you know, which is really weird, because I had a horoscope that week in the Stranger magazine, which you guys probably don't know about. It's a West Coast thing. A free daily magazine that comes out once a week. And there was a horoscope in there, and it said that something about, you know, other people, you know, appreciating who you are and pulling aside the veil to wave at you, you know? And I was just like, and that was the same week that I saw that happened. And I was just like, whoa, that is fucking mind-blowing, because I'm telling you, that was, when I saw those, I was like, they were like a mile big, each one of them, you know, something like that. And they were just pure black, and they just appeared for like 5 seconds and then just disappeared. It was just like,
dang, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's like a game changer.
Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty sure that
I've never seen nothing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that
I've seen shooting stars, and that's it. You know, we know where asteroids coming in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
That's really a shooting star. That's all I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I ain't really. Yeah, but I really would. To be honest, when I say that, you know, when my son get done with high school, probably will move.
Yeah.
I want to move out to where it's more nature. You know, like, not necessarily totally away from people. I have no problem being close to a big city.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't need to be close to a big city.
Yeah, no, there's...
And where I can maybe see the stars.
Yeah,
And maybe
I hear you, man.
More people know each other, you know, and maybe a smaller community, you know. But yeah.
You'll find a lot of that in Western Washington. A lot of small communities where I don't know about everybody knowing each other. The neighborhood I live in, I pretty sure most of my neighbors know who I am. It's really weird because I don't recognize anybody's car, you know, but like almost every car that passes us when we're walking, me and Rufus and Sammy, they wave. You know, like, hey, there's that guy. Like, hey, I have no idea who you are. But it's very nice, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, it's you know, it's better that way. But but you need the city. But whenever, like, when you hit a certain age, then you got to be a certain type of person that still want to deal with that crazy-ass, fast-paced life. And I don't really want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to deal with traffic and attitude at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You know, bullshit like that. I just want to, go and come in peace, take my ass home.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. We went across the water to the Olympic Mountains the other day, and that's where the real rainforest is. And there were all these little towns that we drove through, and I was just like, hey, this looks like a really nice place. Hey, this, you know, right now we live about 5 miles away from Seattle, so. And again, this is a very nice neighborhood, but some of the other neighborhoods that are, you know, 1 or 2 neighborhoods over that might even have the same name as the place where we live, as far as like the city or whatever, the city name. And again, it's just, you know, a few blocks away. That's not nearly as nice a neighborhood. And what I'm saying is, it's not nearly as friendly as far as I can tell. So. We're very lucky to live in this neighborhood right where we live right now, and it would be.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think we're about 17 miles from downtown St. Louis, and it's, you know, it's pretty much just, you know, it's a town, but we're in St. Louis County.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, it's safe here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, 'cause you got a lot of money here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We feel, everybody feels safe.
Yeah. No, 17 miles away from St. Louis sounds just about right.
You damn skippy.
Yeah. How far do you have to drive to go to the medical marijuana store?
Oh, dude, it's literally maybe like 2 miles down the road.
Oh,
maybe.
You can walk there, huh?
Yeah. You know, just like I had my wife take me today because she never been there.
Yeah.
You know, she just stayed in the truck. She don't do none of this stuff.
Oh.
And so I'm like, hey, this is what it is. He goes, oh. I'm like, okay. So I just walked in there and boom, boom, bam, walked out.
Yeah.
And like the good thing about, you know, you build points. So I got like $30 on points.
Right on.
And therefore, like I can go up in and get like, you know, two goddamn pre-rolls or whatever.
You got like a punch card or something?
No, they keep all that. Then I get my 10% military discount.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah.
So, are you getting any? Did you find a strain that you really like yet?
No, I'm still trying them out.
Yeah.
You know, to be honest, like.
Yeah. You'll find one.
I had that Bubba Fat. Like I had something called a Bubba Fat.
Yeah.
That made me a little paranoid. I was like, I ain't ready for Star Wars. So then I had that David Banner. That was more medicinal, and it was very good. And I got this blunt pre-roll today.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know what the hell it is, but it's pretty good though. It's nice.
Right on. It sounds like you're enjoying it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Like a kitty candy store.
Me and Rufus, we used to walk to the weed store all the time. I'd be like, hey, you want to go to the weed store? And he'd jump up like, fuck yeah, let's go to weed store. So you should walk your dog down there.
Let me tell you, my Ruby Roxanne, my Pomeranian, she had a cough. Well, she still got a cough, but we thought it was like a hairball.
Yeah.
Took her to the vet, And they're like, well, she got kennel cough. And we're like, well, she don't been around no other dogs. She don't stay in a kennel. And then it was like, do you have neighbors? And we're like, yeah, and we got a fence. Well, if them dogs may have it and cough on the fence, then your dog can get it.
Yeah.
We're like, shit. So, but anyway, so my wife ordered some, like, dog shear. She butchered the hell out of my Ruby Roxanne.
Yeah.
She cut my dog hair so bad, this poor child looked like she got the mange.
How is that going to help her lungs? I don't understand.
No, well, we thought it was a hairball.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, well, it's summer, let's cut her hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And, anyway, she just took upon herself. This poor child looked like she was dipped in oil.
Yeah.
Okay. And
Poor
baby. But she loves the haircut. Ruby loves the haircut.
Oh, well, that's
really
good.
Yeah, she likes it. She can go outside and run around. And since she's so small, Mike, we have to put this inflatable collar around her neck.
Oh, he said something about that.
Yeah, so she can't squeeze through the damn, we got a wooden fence. She can through that fence. That little hook is gone. I'm telling you right now, her little fast ass is gone.
Huh. Oh, wow. That's too bad.
Well, it's not that. Like, she loves it. Like, whenever I'm like, hey, you want to go outside? And I pick up that little inflatable collar, she goes nuts.
Yeah.
And I put it on her, and boom. She'll play, she'll hang out, sleep, or whatever.
Yeah.
She's fine. But she understands why it's there because she's fucking curious as hell. And
Yeah.
that's just because she's so young.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah. If
18
she's
months,
a baby,
she
yeah.
won't be like that.
Yeah,
She'll
good,
be a little
good.
older. She'll be like, I don't know
Yeah.
what's on the side of that fence.
And what color is she?
She's black and white.
Black and white. Oh, wow.
And her butt cheeks are like black and white, but they look like apple bottom jeans, ash color. So like when she be walking, she swing her little booty when she walks. It's like apple. It's like something about apple. Whatever that song that was. That song, apple bottom jeans, whatever.
You don't see many
with the curves. So what now?
You don't see many black and white Pomeranians. I mean, they're usually solid colors.
Well, there's three. I have a fox-faced Pomeranian.
Oh.
And then you have a teddy bear Pomeranian.
Oh.
And then you have a teddy bear, fox-faced, and something else. And it's just how their face, how their face is shaped.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's a fox-faced. Yeah, but everything else is the same. But she's the smaller breed. So she only weighs like 4 pounds. 4 or 5 pounds.
So she's like a fluff ball before she got her shave. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this shit right here, Mom, is bad.
What's that? What's bad?
I mean, her haircut.
Oh. You should shave her like a lion.
Well, she did, but it's a bad haircut.
Well, you can do it. I mean, the hair grows back.
I know, But anyway, Mom, good to talk to you.
Yeah, it's always good to hear from you, B.
All right, man. Hey, bro, take care, man.
Okay,
Right?
you stay cool. We'll get through it.
All right, we will.
All right, see you, bro. That's our buddy, 2 Bronze Star Brandon. Okay, so I played all my videos. There's not another caller, I don't think. So, and I'm getting very hungry. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow, same Mox time, same Mox channel. And until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other. They stay united. Coalition of misfits.
Sometimes life can be a little
overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.